and body. From a little fender bender to total body repair, MPB will fix it good as new, maybe better. For over 35 years, the Turner family has been getting you back on the road. Call 279-7325.
Well, hi, everybody. This week is starting off dry and comfortable, but all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical development that could affect our forecast later in the week. Today, though, mostly sunny with a high temperature in the upper 80s and low humidity. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool, mid-60s tonight. More sun, 87 on Tuesday. The risk of rain beginning on Wednesday, but especially an increasing chance of some tropical downpours Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday. We could be dealing with a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but for us, it would be beneficial rainfall. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We're redesigning financial freedom at CB&S Bank. Make purchases at participating stores and restaurants using your CB&S Bank debit card through your mobile devices with Mobile Wallet. Charges and fees may apply for your cellular service provider. Contact your service provider for more information. Member FDIC.
1819 News.
U.S. Senator Katie Britt is sounding the alarm on the spending habits of the U.S. federal government. Britt spoke in Birmingham to Punchbowl News, in which she pointed out that the federal government is now $35 trillion in debt. Britt says that the federal government is now spending more money to service that debt than to fund national defense. Britt says that any country who is paying more for the debt service than defending its nation is at a tipping point headed towards decline. Britt says the wasteful spending must be cut, and the first step is passing a balanced budget amendment. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
The National Hurricane Center is currently tracking a tropical storm in the Gulf of Mexico that is expected to affect Gulf Coast states, including Alabama. The storm is currently named Potential Tropical Cyclone 6 as of this weekend and is expected to make landfall as a Category 1 hurricane. The predicted landfall area is between Texas and Louisiana and will happen sometime this Wednesday. Big Lots Stores is undergoing a reorganization by way of Chapter 11 bankruptcy. Big Lots CEO Bruce Thorne says there will be some store closures as the company restructures its footprint within the retail industry. The reasons for this move is being attributed to high inflation and interest rates here in the nation, which has caused many Big Lot customers to have less discretionary spending money for home furnishings and seasonal products. Big Lots is a 57-year-old company. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
It's Johnny from Sinclair's on Bond Road. We've been in business almost 30 years.
Sinclair's East, Vaughnette Taylor.
I think if you hadn't tried us, you should give us a try. We've got a great menu, offered anything from chicken fingers, wings, salads, fajitas. At lunchtime, we do great country lunch with different vegetables and different meats every day.
Sinclair's, where you get great sandwiches and our daily meat and 3 special at lunch, to great pasta, chicken, steaks, and seafood for dinner.
Our most popular items are, we got a soup called she crab soup, which is extremely popular. We've got a bunch of pasta dishes, which people love. Mediterranean chicken is my favorite.
Sinclair's.
We do live music, light stuff on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then on Fridays and Saturdays, maybe 3-piece bands or 4-piece bands.
Come see why Sinclair's has seen lesser restaurants come and go over the years. Johnny Sullivan Sinclair's, at the corner of Vaughn and Taylor. Find them on Facebook at Sinclair's East. Google search Sinclair's Restaurant. Sinclair's.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark. Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon. I'm your host, Joey Clark. My trusty sidekick, Eddie Bader, is here. How you doing today, Eddie?
Pretty good. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. I think I'm surviving the weekend. Without getting details, you look tired.
Yeah, I had a good weekend. It was just kind of heavy. It was
heavy. Does happen. Well, the news today, the news for a while now has been, the old expression, enough to make a cat laugh?
I do not know that expression.
It's more British than anything, but it's a good expression. It's so ridiculous, it's enough to make a cat laugh.
Okay. All right.
And so I was thinking about cats over the weekend for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into more why the nation is thinking about cats in just a moment.
You thinking about adopting a cat?
I might get a cat. I mean, I might want to save a dog, too.
Cats are just very independent.
Right. I might even want to sponsor a Haitian migrant.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, look at you.
Like, just bring everybody in.
Somebody had a weekend.
In fact, I'm going to get a lot of cats and some migrants. We're going to make it work.
Ooh, I think I see where we're going.
But, Camille Paglia is one of the better, I think, social commentators, philosophers out there. And she, in her book, it's her classic book, talks about cats. Because her book's about beauty and, like, art, going all the way back to the Egyptians up to, like, Madonna.
But
from
not
Nefertiti
because
to
she's
Madonna.
a cat lady, just because of art.
Yeah, actually. Yeah, well, Paglia's... We'll get into her maybe some other day. But no, I think this is spot on, actually, as she's describing it. Sleeping up to 20 of every 24 hours, cats reconstruct and inhabit the primitive night world. The cat is telepathic, or at least thinks that it is. Many people are unnerved by its cool stare. Compared to dogs, slavishly eager to please, cats are autocrats of naked self-interest.
Yes.
They are both amoral and immoral, consciously breaking rules. Their evil look at such times as no human projection. The cat may be the only animal who savors the perverse or reflects upon it. Again, that's Camille Paglia. But as I, found I was the only family left in town, I went to visit my Uncle Mel.
Yeah.
Worried he'd finally lost his mind. Mel was always an odd sort, aloof and inner-directed, but he had become more of a shut-in as he grew older. His career as a relatively successful yet largely unknown novelist had afforded him a solitary life of ease. Other than his cat, Horatio, he lived alone. Mel would occasionally entertain friends and family as guests, as well as regular visits from his maid and the local Catholic priest. But like most homebodies, he was severely skeptical of other people and society's latest trends, especially on the technological front. He didn't have a computer, television, or online connection. He spent most of his time reading very old books very few people would know, let alone read. The only tech Uncle Mel was known to use was an old flip phone from the early aughts that somehow still worked just enough for him to text family and friends. Indeed, it was a peculiar text from my Uncle Mel that spurred my visit. Horatio has started laughing at me, he texted the night before. But no one believes me as I can't get him to laugh in front of anyone else. What do you mean? I texted back. Horatio is a cat. Cats don't laugh. This cat does. All the time now, but only for me. Are you sure you're okay? Yes, I'm fine. Just come over tomorrow. Maybe he'll laugh for you, given that you're family. Upon entering Uncle Mel's home, Horatio greeted me at the door with a leg rub and a gentle chirp. He was a long-haired tuxedo cat with almost perfectly proportioned markings, always exquisitely self-groomed. As far as cats go, we had always gotten along, but in all my visits, I had never heard him laugh. After finding a seat on the living room couch, Horatio hopped in my lap and started purring, flipping his tail to and fro as I stroked gently down his back. So what's all this nonsense about the cat laughing? I asked. It's not nonsense, my uncle says. In fact, he was just laughing at me right before you got home. I looked down at Horatio. He peered back at me over his shoulder, continuing to purr, then turned his head back to my uncle. He definitely seems to find it funny when I stubbed my toe this morning, my uncle continues, but he often laughs when I read to him, especially histories of war and classic literary tragedies. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy, I say directly to the cat. As expected, no laughter, just a subtle sideways glance and more purring. Oh, he's laughed at that line before, my uncle says. I've read him Hamlet a few times, and he seems to find the entire tragedy quite funny in the most inappropriate way. For some reason, he laughs hardest when the characters die. like he's mocking them and me and all of humanity all at the same time. Do you know how crazy you sound right now, I ask? Yes, Uncle Mel says, but I'm not lying and I'm not crazy. I suspect Horatio just finds glee in gaslighting me in front of others. The priest tried a knock-knock joke on him yesterday to no avail. The maid even tried slapstick last week, cleverly staging a slip and fall with her mop and bucket. I laughed at that myself, but Horatio just blinked and walked away like a normal, non-laughing cat. I even went out and bought a secret surveillance system to try and catch him in a candid... Wait, I thought you hated technology. I do. I was desperate. Anyway, it didn't work as he just hunted down the hidden cameras and microphones like they were birds and mice, only to start laughing after he had disabled the system. I think he enjoys making me look foolish. You know, like that old singing frog cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
I think you need to get out more, I say, Horatio still purring in my lap, at least to update your pop culture references. Forget it, my uncle says, rising to his feet and walking out to his apartment balcony. Maybe I am crazy. Come on out and tell me what's new with the world. I followed him outside and proceeded to fill him in on the latest. The war's raging half a world away. The worsening inflation he hadn't even noticed. The burgeoning AI technology space, the renewed private space race, all the latest cultural controversies and media wars, as well as how crime is rising right under his nose in the neighborhood. Through it all, Uncle Mel just nodded, shrugged, and smoked his cigarette. I then started discussing the candidates for the upcoming presidential election in November and how close the race was in a starkly divided nation. I asked him if he had registered to vote. He shook his head no, without so much as a thought. You know, they're saying this is the most important election of our lifetimes, I tell him. That democracy itself is on the ballot, that voting in the wrong person could very well mean World War III. You should at least participate. Suddenly, I heard it, as though it was coming up like steam through cracks in the ground. The most shimmeringly beautiful, yet withering, mocking, and cruel laugh I have ever heard. I turned around. There on the floor, lying on his back and slapping his white fluffy belly with violent glee, was the Horatio, the cat, laughing at me. I looked at my Uncle Mel, and all we could do was join in, even though it seemed to be laughing at our own expense. So, yeah, sometimes the news makes you feel so crazy that you think the cat's laughing at you. And on that note, have you heard about what's going on in Springfield, Ohio?
Home of Bass Pro Shops.
Bass Pro Shops. That's
first
where
Bass Pro Shops I ever went to was Springfield, Ohio.
That was the first one ever opened.
Yeah, I think it was first.
Wasn't just your first; it was their first too.
Yep.
Well, that's special.
Believe so.
But yeah, they are actually having some trouble. You know, about a month ago. Yeah, about a month ago, there were reports, people upset that you've brought in 15 to 20,000 Haitian migrants just to this town alone. That was only 50,000 people. Springfield was only like 52,000 people.
And they brought in 15 to 20,000 immigrants.
Give or take. Senator Vance was worried about this months ago. Local reports from about a month ago show people saying, hey, like the city manager even saying, this is draining our resources on education, healthcare, a lot of stuff. We don't have the basic resources to take this sort of influx.
Did they bring them there, and you might not know, but did they bring them there because there was a need for them employment or something at one of the factories? Or did they just say, this is where we're coming?
I don't know. I think it's more the latter. I think in this particular case, it's the Haitian refugees realize, oh, this place is nice.
Oh.
And so they all started, a lot of them started going there. Of course, you know, last week we were talking about the people, or some of the people of Sylacauga getting upset.
Yeah, that was my first thought.
Right. And so just to back this up, Kamala Harris recently came out, I think was kind of bragging about some of their immigration policies. Let's listen in to Vice President Harris.
That is why also, starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support.
So that's Kamala Harris herself saying, yeah, we gave temporary protected status to over 100,000. extended that to over 100,000 Haitian migrants. Then
they can just do that? I mean, that's something I just don't get. I could bring in 100,000 people into the United States. Nobody can say nothing about it.
Yeah, just not. It's legal. They're refugees. They've got a civil war in their country.
And I'm sure you don't know either, but how do we know these people are not the devil themselves?
That's a good question. In fact, that's the point the guy in Sylacauga said. It's the
even
woman
better.
who was running the council was essentially, just because of how people look. He goes, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
They literally have a war-torn country. How do we even vet these people?
That's my first wonder is.
So then this post started going viral. It's a local, kind of one of these neighborhood watch posts from Springfield, Ohio. It says, warning to all about our beloved pets and those around us. My neighbor informed me that her daughter's friend has lost her cat. She checked pages, kennels, asked around, etc. One day she came home from work. As soon as she stepped out of her car, looked towards a neighbor's house where Haitians live, and saw her cat hanging from a branch, like you do a deer for butchering. And they were carving it up to eat. I've been told they are doing this to dogs. They have been doing it at Snyder Park with the ducks and geese, as I was told that last bit by the rangers and police. Please keep a close eye on these animals. So you're like, okay, that's one post. Then somebody posts a photo, and it's clearly a Haitian migrant holding a goose, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
One of those Canadian geese, which, honestly, I don't really like the geese. Go for it, guys. And then this clip starts making the rounds. I think they call it their commission or their city council or whatever. A young gentleman who's in a red hoodie and a red ball cap steps up to the microphone.
Right.
And he has this to say.
I think it's like kind of odd that like a guy like me has to come out from doing what I do on a daily basis to have fun, because I see what's going on in these streets, and I see you guys just sitting up there in them comfy chairs and suits, and I'm getting out here every day and I'm broadcasting this, and you guys are just sitting up there in suits and stuff. Like, I really challenge you guys to get out here and do something. These Haitians are running into trash cans. They're running into buildings. They're running into, they flipping cars in the middle of the street. And I don't know how, like, y'all can be comfortable with this. Like, I don't know, like, who's getting paid from it. I honestly feel like someone's getting paid from it in the background. You got a bunch of people on a bus getting dropped off at a gas station to come down here. I know a single mom that FaceTimed me this morning at the welfare office that really need something. And it's nothing but immigrants over there. And I don't even want to seem like I'm coming down on the immigrants, because it's the people that's bringing them down here. Because wherever they're at, that's what they're used to, bro. They're in the park grabbing up ducks by their neck and cutting their head off and walking off with them and eating them. Like, y'all get the Highway State Patrol down here every week, and then y'all get like a task force for the Highway State Patrol, and they look for guns and they look for dope and this and that and the fourth. That same people that y'all got riding up and down Limestone doing U-turns, pulling people over for blinkers and pulling people over for going left to center and a couple miles over. Y'all can take them same people, the Highway State Patrol, and you can take them in every single one of their silver Chargers and Dodge Durangos, and y'all can take them to Sunset, and y'all can park them right over there, and y'all can teach people how to drive, since the Highway State Patrol knows so much about traffic laws and know what to do in traffic.
So you're seeing okay, one person's writing this on the Neighborhood Watch. One person took a photo. This guy's at the council testifying. There's another woman testifying at the council. We'll just play it, where she's saying, I've been trying. Actually, I was trying to kind of negotiate with them, but I'm at my wit's end. Here's what she had to say.
I'm done with what I'm seeing. It is so unsafe in my neighborhood anymore. I have the homeless that were trying to camp out, and I have made concessions with them, and I try to help them the best I can to keep them from trying to squat on my property. But it is so unsafe. I have men that cannot speak English in my front yard screaming at me, throwing mattresses in my front yard, throwing trash in my front yard. And I can't. Look at me, I weigh 95 pounds. I couldn't defend myself if I had to. My husband is elderly, and last night, after living in this home for 45 years, he said, Noelle, guess what? It's time to pack up and move.
Again, this is in a small town called Springfield, Ohio. Was just about 50,000 residents. Now it's nearer to 60 or 70,000.
Now, I did read something over the weekend that said something about, to the effect of they are dropping immigrants off in a lot of red states in an attempt to shift the voting over time.
Maybe that's the case.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else makes sense.
Well, that's far-fetched. It's like Chuck Schumer is literally out there in front of the halls of Congress saying we need to give citizenship to however many, 13 million or however many are in here.
Right. But that's just it. The whole far-fetched thing drives me nuts because just like these people that are going to in front of their council, they're doing all this, but you've got governors like in Colorado that have seen the videos of the immigrant gangs taking over the apartment complex and saying, "Oh, that's not what's happening."
Oh,
here.
they're now having to own up to it.
Yeah,
in Aurora, in Colorado in particular,
they had
they're
no
admitting,
choice.
Yeah, it's true
because it becomes so overwhelming. But he knew the whole time and was comfortable lying about it. He knew the whole time, and it wasn't just that one. There was 9 different ones before it made it out.
Well, and then in Springfield, you might be like, "What? It's just a couple people at the city council. It's just one neighborhood watch post. I mean, what are these people even up to?" Then this video went viral. I'll pull it up on the stream. You can go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube or just follow us on X at the Joey Clark. That's at the Joey Clark. This is body cam footage of an arrest made in Springfield. Let's just watch.
What did you do? What'd you...
Okay, so what do you see there on the ground in that driveway? A woman.
Yeah.
It looks like she's holding something.
Looks like she's holding something, yeah.
Okay.
What did you do? Why'd you kill the cat? Smile for me. Smile with your teeth. Go like this. Did you eat that cat? Did you eat it? No, why'd you kill it? Did you guys see all this?
No, we pulled up and she was just laying there with it.
Did you see her eating it?
Eating it.
She was eating it?
Yeah, she was.
You call the Humane Society, see if they'll come pick this cat up. It's deceased.
So, that's pretty real.
Yeah, can't deny that one.
And apparently this is a thing? Like you're telling me something about Louisiana where you have to...
There's a law in Louisiana, but it's almost a joke of a law, because it's been around since 1800s.
But you got to, number one, before you say it, you have to wonder where do these laws come from?
Yeah.
There was some reason it was there.
You have to leave the feet on a raccoon that's deceased and the fur to prove it's not a cat, in case Fish and Game were to ask.
So, I mean, part of me wants to be tolerant. It's like embrace culture. Like, I mean, maybe cat's good, and maybe this is what you get for letting your cat outside.
But we don't eat cats in this country, Joey.
I know.
We don't eat our
pets. I know, but then maybe we should get some culture. We don't have any culture.
What's wrong with the culture we have? What's wrong with our culture? I mean, honestly, what's wrong with the American culture? To me, it used to be and still is great. That's why most of other countries, whether they like it or not, they embrace Western culture. They wear Levi's.
What was that whole thing in Wetumpka where the ladies were feeding the cats and everybody got all upset about it? Just bring in a few migrants. We'll take care of it.
Oh, Joey. I mean, that would take care of it, yeah.
But actually, the serious point is that when you bring in mass amounts of people, stuff like this is going to happen.
Sure. Especially if they're not even vetted. So if they're not vetted, if you went to sleep and you were in Haiti, and you woke up tomorrow in New York City, you wouldn't know how to act in New York City. You would act just like you were in Haiti.
Right.
In Haiti, you would say, "Hey, I'm hungry.
Yes.
I've got to go obtain food." Oh, yeah. I don't know what these animals are, but they sure look edible to me.
Right. But how much money, by the way, after, especially, remember the big hurricane when the Clinton Foundation and the Bush folks went down there and there were billions of dollars sent into that country, and now it's still like war-torn and messed up as ever?
That's how they got their Democrat Party going again, because it was broke at one time. It was the big fundraiser.
It is a big money laundering operation, just like the cryptocurrency thing they did with Sam Bankman.
Oh,
Fried was a big money laundering operation.
1,000%. 1,000%.
It just, well, here, And this is, of course, going to be a response from the Democratic side of the aisle. This is, he's a real winner. Dan Goldman. He's a Harris campaign spokesman now. Yeah. Let's listen into what he has to say about secure borders.
So when she was running for the 2020 nomination, Kamala Harris included herself among those who wanted to decriminalize border crossings. And now she says this. Let's listen.
I believe there should be consequence. We have laws that have to be followed and enforced that address and deal with people who cross our border illegally, and there should be consequences.
Okay. How important is it for her on Tuesday to explain the evolution, to give context for the evolution on this and other issues?
There's no evolution. Decriminalizing border crossing means that you do not have the child separation policy where you put parents in jail for crossing the border and separating them from their children. Having consequences means that you do not get to come into the United States and you do not get to apply for asylum or get a work permit. Those are two very different things, and they're very different ways of attacking this issue. Donald Trump separated children from their families, many of whom have not still been reunited. Kamala Harris wants to make sure that we have an orderly process at the border, that those who have legitimate claims of asylum can come in, and that we continue to bolster and increase lawful visas because our economy is desperately in need of people to do jobs all the way throughout the spectrum, from agriculture jobs to scientists and doctors. We are short all up and down that spectrum of workers who can fill those jobs. And so what we need to have is an orderly process that can make sure that we are welcoming people into this country, as we are a country of immigrants, but we're making sure that only those who are qualified and proper to come in do so in an orderly fashion.
Right.
That is what the Biden-Harris policy is. The Trump policy is to deport everybody, whether they have a green card or not, and just to eliminate all immigration, essentially, because they do not want people who are not white to come into this country.
I see.
So all those people that were complaining, including it looked like local black residents there in Springfield.
It did.
But everybody's complaining about this.
Yeah.
Who says maybe the process that you're laid out isn't orderly. Number one, how many of those kids actually are part of those families? How many of these kids are actually being used to get into the country because of y'all's policies?
How many have they lost?
But it's just that simple. You just don't want non-white people to come into the country. You racist. How dare you have any concerns whatsoever?
All immigration, essentially, because they do not want people who are not white to come into this country. It's plain and simple. And so I look forward to the vice president and the former president answering those questions on.
Of course, the debate tomorrow night. Theater at its greatest in politics. I'll probably laugh at it like a cat. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, guys. How are you?
Very good. How you doing, man?
Good. You know, I've had several friends who have done work with various charitable organizations in Haiti over the past 40 years. And as crass as this is going to sound, those are the last people on earth you want in your communities.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah, I mean, they just have no ability to assimilate, to a higher educated, higher technical culture whatsoever. I mean, you're literally like you're almost taking someone from the Stone Age and putting them into modern society.
Well, that's the plan, though. And what's it do? It puts a wrinkle and a wreck in modern society, and that's their plan.
Sure, yeah. To basically destroy, and then, you bring people like that who are completely uneducated, completely uncultured.
Yeah.
Dump them into a society by the millions. And then, again, just like with people from, say, Central and South America who aren't quite as in bad a shape, the strain that puts on your social services, your education, your health care. I mean, it just basically accelerates that, puts like a turbocharger on it.
Sure.
To where, you know,
It's
those
gonna
people
fail.
are going to be on the welfare roll from cradle to grave in this country.
Yeah, but I think the big picture is to have that system fail. Again, just to
Sure,
create
yeah.
more chaos. So
Right.
when that system
It
fails,
puts so much stress on it, yeah.
yeah, when it does fail, now you got hungry people. You know, you don't have people that
Yeah.
have money and can buy. You've got people that are hungry, and we all know what could happen with that.
Yeah, and, you know, and when you finally collapse the system, then what? Then the federal government steps in. We're here to save you, you know, and it'll be that situation before long if we keep going down this road.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, they break your leg and then give you a crutch and then try to convince you, but especially your children, that you could never walk in the first place.
Yep.
Exactly. You know, this was your fault to begin with.
Yeah,
We're
shut up,
here
you
to
racist.
save you. Yeah. So, anyway, have a good one, guys.
Appreciate it, David.
It is our fault that we elected them.
Yep. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services and their Pest Pro Ashley and that great team are ready to help you. Talk about great local fixtures in the community.
Some of the best, Joey.
Some of the best folks out there. Of course, they're true professionals when it comes to pest control services, really skilled professionals. And they can help you on a particular job. Maybe you need to get the yard all set up. You're having a big party, say, outside.
Got
Say for
football.
like a football
That's
game
right.
day. And so you don't want people eaten up by mosquitoes or fire ants or
Right.
anything
Right.
like that. Why not have Pest Pro come out and treat the yard for you just to make sure you're not going to get any of those critters? Or it could be something like a termite inspection, or maybe you're just suspecting there's something crawling in the walls. Pest Pro can come look at it. But we really encourage you to make them your everyday pest control company.
That's right.
It's, just say a peace of mind. They have your back no matter what goes down. So check them out today. You can always give them a call, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. Or go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Hey, Eddie, I know you had a rough weekend, but I know in the back of your mind you were thinking,
Always be closing.
No, I did some of that.
Always be closing.
I did some of that.
Good. That'll do, Big. That'll do. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For many years, my team and I have worked diligently to provide our veterans with top-notch service, as it is our honor to serve those who have served us in the armed forces. Madeline and I are certified veteran lending specialists. Nationwide, there are over 22 million veterans that qualify to purchase a home through the VA loan program. Yet less than 2 million of them currently have a VA home loan. Many lenders do not keep up with the ever-changing guidelines and benefits of the VA loan program. They are intimidated by the program, resulting in many veterans not obtaining VA loans. This is unacceptable. The VA home loan program offers service members and veterans with 100% financing. You've already paid your down payment. If you are currently serving or have honorably discharged, we would love an opportunity to discuss how the VA program can serve you. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223 or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Thank you for your service. NMLS 1586368, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your market report. So far this year, over 3,300 homes have sold and closed in the River region with an average price of $260,000. Over 60% of these homes sold in 60 days or less and sold for 98% of list price. So, two forces are at work right now. First, we have more inventory of homes now than we've had in 4 years. Second, we also have the lowest interest rates in 15 months for VA, FHA, and conventional loans, and this helps sellers and buyers. In addition, sellers are more willing to negotiate favorable terms for buyers than I've seen in over 4 years. So the objection from potential sellers, where would we go if we sold our house? Well, now you have more homes to view than we've had in a long, long time. Why wait? For more information or a written report, call Bo Goodson at 221-2883 or the Goodson Group at 551-0225.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first time Nana moments
to Flight 101
to annual girls trip moments. Your can't miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only, subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase, exclusions, and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, the best quality building materials in the river region for decades. From common builds to special orders and local delivery. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Well, hi, everybody. This week is starting off dry and comfortable, but all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical development that could affect our forecast later in the week. Today, though, mostly sunny with a high temperature in the upper 80s and low humidity. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool, mid-60s tonight. More sun, 87 on Tuesday. The risk of rain beginning on Wednesday, but especially an increasing chance of some tropical downpours Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday. We could be dealing with a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but for us, it would be beneficial rainfall. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Thank you for voting ASC Credit Union, the best credit union in the River Region 6 years in a row. As we celebrate our 70th anniversary, we are proud to be at the top of the list for the best credit union in the hearts of the communities we serve.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon. I'm Joey. That's Eddie over there. Somebody on the phone line's like, wait, Eddie about to go like hunting or something? I think he was looking at your...
No.
Is that more of a fishing shirt?
Yeah, it's a what they call SPF shirt. You can wear it and not get sunburned kind of thing. It's very light, very airy.
Yeah. You're a regular outdoorsman, right?
I like to be.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'd live outside if I could.
Now, has anybody ever tried to kill the goats up in Lake Jordan?
No, but I will say this. Some jackass a week or two ago brought their dogs on the island and thought it'd be fun to watch.
Oh,
the dogs
no,
chase the
that
goats.
is not.
So somebody actually had to come over and say, get your dogs off.
Was
the
it a
island.
big dog?
I don't even know. But that bothers me because that's just idiots.
Yeah.
Can't have nice things because of people like that.
Right.
But that being said, I love the goats on Goat Island. It's the greatest thing.
Right.
I mean, they literally, when you pull up, they come to the edge of the dock. You're like, are you going to get my boat?
Right.
They're right there.
And I think people's sensitivity has made them like, well, I don't want to believe that. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do know what you mean.
Like they're killing cats and eating them? Like that sounds like, I don't want to be a bigot. So why should I even believe that?
Well, there's a law in Louisiana for a reason.
You know, and if I could wave a magic wand and have my own immigration policy, I would make it more private property rights based.
Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, you pass a health check, you pass a security check, and you have somebody that wants to sponsor you, truly sponsor you, come on in. But you cannot apply for welfare. You cannot apply for the public services.
Right. What do you have to offer us? Let's be honest. We're the greatest thing in the world. That's every American's opinion. So what do you have to offer us? If you can come make it better, then let's talk. But if you are going to be a burden on society, keep moving.
And the political angle of this is just infuriating.
They're playing a numbers game.
It really is infuriating. Let's go to Happy Trails. Hey, Happy Trails, how you doing?
Good afternoon. How are y'all doing?
Pretty good.
All right.
Well, I had a couple of comments to make about what y'all were talking about. And first, I want to say they're trying to get people over here to work. If they had not killed 1 million babies every year since when Roe v. Wade was passed, we might have that population of workers. The second thing I wanted to say is I hope to goodness they don't eat any rabid raccoons.
Ooh.
And how would that translate into human consumption?
Ooh, I have no.
And the third thing I wanted to, I'm sorry?
I would have no clue about that. It's a question I've never asked myself.
Well, I had a rabid raccoon in my yard one day, and I had to pin up my dog for 45 days because she was barking at him.
Yeah, yeah.
And the vet told me if you see a raccoon during the day, it's not good. They are rabid.
That's what I've always heard. Yep.
And third, the most frightening words, remember Ronald Reagan, I'm paraphrasing, said, I'm here for from the government, and I'm here to help.
Yeah. Yep.
Go see the movie. It is wonderful. Everybody get out there and see it. Pass the word. Dennis Quaid did a great job.
Excellent.
But I'm listening, guys, and y'all are making me madder by the hour.
Oh, you just got to learn to laugh like a cat. Except, well, not all cats are laughing.
Right.
But
well, y'all have a good day.
You too. Happy trails. Thanks.
272-9228. Let's go to Jim. Hey, Jim.
Yeah, I actually saw a photo just a little while ago. Kamala Harris's cat was wearing a MAGA hat.
Yeah, the AI images people are creating, like one is like Trump running with a duck and a cat at his arm. Like,
wow. But y'all were talking about the Haiti. You know, I was when I was in college, way back. I majored in minored in history. You know, that was exciting.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, the history of Haiti. I mean, Papa Doc and Baby Doc, the two leaders. Man, those guys they use voodoo and all kind of stuff to scare those people. They slaughtered thousands of people on that island when they were ruling it. I mean, they were some weird people. And it never has recovered from that. That's just, woo.
Yeah, I mean, it's warlords have run that place forever. Yeah.
Oh,
Within
I can't imagine why people would even go there to even visit that place. I mean, good grief. But on a lighter note, about eating animals, when I was living in Montgomery, I was in food sales and worked for Kelly. But I was over in Prattville one day, and I was at a little strip mall down here on 31 right by Main Street. The restaurant's not there anymore, so I'm not disparaging them. But there was a little Chinese restaurant called Ho Ho. And I pulled around to the back, come in the back door to call on them, and there was a live goat tied up to the dumpster. Now, I'm not saying they were using that thing, but that was a little odd. Kind of puts a new meaning in sweet and sour pork.
Oh yeah, goodness! Like, see, I would try goat, but not one that's been feeding from a dumpster.
Yeah, a lot of people barbecue goats. You know, if you raise goats and feed them up with, some good like corn, and I've heard it's pretty good barbecue, but I don't know.
I like Indian foods. A goat with some curry is good.
It's Caribbean food. It's delicious.
Yeah, if you've eaten lamb, it's not a whole lot of difference. So
yeah.
The one we had, that lamb we had at the steak place.
Oh, so good.
I forget the name of, what was the name of that?
Well,
that lamb.
Picanha.
I've never had lamb so good. That was just amazing.
Well, what's the tomorrow night, Joey? I know you can be watching. How do you think this is going to turn out?
I've been predicting for a while that the slide began when her interview first happened. And maybe it began actually when RFK Jr. backs Trump. Yeah. I just have a feeling it's either a draw or she falls flat on her face. I mean, that's just what my gut's telling me. We'll see if I'm wrong or right.
But all the things that could go wrong, all this stuff coming out about Tim Walz and all his weird behavior and stuff, and there's so many things now. It's like, good grief.
Yep.
Here's Trump out there campaigning, and she's over in some spice shop. What? She has no clue. She doesn't even know how to connect with people.
And even that wasn't real because they acted like she found some random spy shop.
Was it real?
No, it was like one of the biggest Democratic supporters. They literally have at their store, "We will not serve Trump supporters."
Yes.
And so this was very much like there was advance work done. Like, go buy this, we'll film it. And it's like, you can do that, fine, but don't pretend like, wow, we just are stopping in here. Hey, Doug, get the Doritos.
So generic right here. This happened to be here, Joey. Wow.
Hey, Tim Walz, what do you think of the 6 dead hostages? Man, this ice cream's good. Have a nice day, everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
There you go.
Gracious.
Well, the whole fallacy of this thing is she's running like Trump's the incumbent.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like she's had nothing to do with the last 4 years. I mean, if I was Trump, I would just keep. I'm sure he's going to do it. Just bringing up all this stuff that's happened under her watch, and just watch her. And they're ticked off now because they're not going to have live mics, so she can't say, "Excuse me, I'm talking."
Yep.
She can't do that. There's going to be no audience in there to give her rah-rahs and stuff. So, yeah, this could get. This will be interesting. If she has a meltdown and it goes really bad, you can just about put the nail in the coffin, because if he gets a jump of 3 or 4%, it's over.
Well, and honestly, my main prediction is it's going to be another political Rorschach test, ink blot test. People will see what they want to see out of it. And spin accordingly. But I appreciate the call, Jim.
Okay, y'all have a good week.
You too, bud.
This part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and the team are ready to help you with that roof of yours. It could be an asphalt or a metal roof. Should have it inspected on a regular basis, whether it's asphalt or metal.
Right.
They have their own unique problems that can crop up. And some manufacturers say, hey, every 3 to 5 years should be inspected for preventive maintenance. Eddie and I have been suggesting, though, do it every year.
I would do it annually, especially here in Alabama.
With the weather out there?
Extreme weather conditions we have. I mean, it goes from the heat to the freezing and all points in between.
Yeah, the weather outside really is weather here in Alabama.
Very weathery.
And so why not do it on an annual basis?
Yeah.
And here's the great news. At River Region Contracting, their inspections are always free.
Absolutely free, Joey.
And their estimates are free if they do find an issue.
That's right.
They'll give you an estimate how much it's going to cost to actually fix it up. And they're a team of insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that insurance claims process and make it a swift and easy experience, which is not something people usually associate
Not at all.
with an insurance
Not at
claim.
all.
That's just how good they are there at River Region Contracting. So check them out today. Give Todd and the team a call at 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. Let's go to a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Ernest. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Looking for insurance, or maybe you're just not satisfied with your current carrier? How does quality coverage with local service and competitive rates sound to you? The folks at Stark Agency offer just that. Whether you need insurance for your business, car, home, or life, Stark Agency can help. As an independent insurance agency with over 20 of the top insurance carriers, Stark is sure to find the perfect match for you and your loved ones. Visit their site at starkagency.com or give them a call at 334-263-5535 for a quote today.
News and talk without the static. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
This is how you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon, or as we're calling this show online, Joey Clark Live. You can always go to Joey Clark Live on YouTube, or you could watch on Twitter. A lot of folks tend to be watching on the X platform. At the Joey Clark.
At the Joey Clark.
Mm-hmm. And let's go to T-Spear. Hey,
Okay.
T-Spear, how you doing?
I'm doing well. I watched that video y'all are discussing earlier
Yeah.
with the ducks.
Mhm.
And I will remind people, these are not immigrants. These are invaders. They are illegal invaders. What part of illegal does our government not understand? What part of illegal do our local law enforcement not understand? They are coming here expecting us to take care of them. They're expecting us to learn their languages. They're expecting us to provide translation services in our schools, in our law enforcement, in our hospitals. They're expecting us to pick up their costs. That is not an immigrant. An immigrant comes here, learns our language, does it legally, and becomes a producing member of society. These people are not producing members of society. They are taking members. I look at, did y'all have the discussion with Selma City Hall last week about the illegal invaders that were actually coming into work, and the City Hall has the unmitigated gall to say, well, you know, we need these workers, and these people are important, and we should take care of them.
Yeah, that was Sylacauga, I believe.
Yeah, not Selma.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, Sylacauga needs to get a new city government. People, when they vote this next year, everybody thinks, well, electing Donald Trump is the most important thing we can do. No, it's not. It's one of the important things that we must do. We must elect all new members of city council, all new mayors, all new city governments, all new state governments. Because if not, we've got the same crap that we've got now that we're having to deal with. If Kay Ivey doesn't like it that I'm calling the state crap, she's done it. If the city council of Sylacauga doesn't like the fact that I'm telling them that they are allowing illegal invaders to do the jobs that Americans are supposed to be doing it, I really don't give a bloody rat's behind. They need to get off their butts and take care of the people of this country instead of the people of other countries that are invading here. If they don't like the fact that I am making these statements, I do not care. Come to me and tell me you don't like it, and then tell me where I'm wrong. Because I'm not wrong, and they know it. This has got to stop. We've got to vote in new district attorneys that will have the guts to stand up and fight for this country and put illegals in jail and send them back home. Personally, I don't care whether they go home or not. Personally, it'd be fine with me if you've done a crime that warrants an absolute death penalty. You don't need to be breathing. I don't care where you're from. People need to understand it's not just President Trump that we need to get rid of. If you have a decent sitting behind your name or in front of your name standing for the Democratic Party, you're part of the problem. You have caused this. You have supported this. And I have absolutely no use for you at all. Don't even get in my face and tell me that you're voting Democrat, because I will let you know just
I appreciate the call, T-Spear.
Thank you for letting me rant, guys. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, honey.
You know, and I will say you're wrong because Kamala Harris gave them legal protected status.
That is why, also, starting with our administration, we gave TPS, temporary protected status, to Haitian migrants, 55,000. And then more recently, we extended temporary protected status to over 100,000 Haitian migrants for that very reason, that they need support, they need protection.
Bus them to her house then. Bus them to her house. They need everything she's got. It's just all at her house.
Let's go to Charles the first. Hey, Charles.
Hey, how y'all doing today?
Good, Charles. How you doing, man?
I like T-Spear coming on with that right there. What I was going to bring up was that we did get a taste of sort of the lady with the cat in the street here. We got that in Alabama when Bob Riley, at the end of his term, closed the mental health facility without telling family and other people. And we had these persons that were supposed to be bedridden out in the communities around these places that the sheriffs, had to arrest after they stole for food and tried to stay in somebody's barn, that they were on record, on TV and everything, articles about how they didn't know what to do with the certifiably insane who couldn't bond out, and after 3 strikes of doing it again, went into our prison
system. Yep.
Then the main thing that we get from the judges, the Democrat federal judges, is what we are mandated to do about the situation in the prison. I mean, do you see how that all falls to be similar? Except in the case of the Haitians, they won't be crazy. They'll be running the prisons, and our persons will be in solitary confinement to protect them, like that's what we've had to do with the insane. But I just wanted to bring up that we've experienced it on a small time, 600 and something people in prison, area there. But
and compassion, charity is a virtue. It's a virtue. Right. It's one of many. Yeah. And if you overemphasize even a virtue, it can lead to really bad things. And I get tired of the bleeding hearts always bringing that up, waving it in our face. And it's like, this is not compassionate, what the situations you're putting, especially the most vulnerable in our own society.
Right. That's what drives me nuts. But again, the most vulnerable in our society, they vote too.
Yeah. If you're rich, you can build a wall, right? That's a lot of the Democratic lawmakers. I appreciate the call, Charles. Really good hearing from you.
Thank you, Charles.
Hey, great show. Thanks.
Thank you, buddy.
We have to hit our top of the hour break. But first, this part of the program brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical.
That's right, Joey.
And of course, they can do it all there at All Pro.
I got something for him.
Yeah.
A friend of mine sent me a picture. It's not in Alabama, but he opened up his electrical panel. There was a snake in it.
Oh, damn. Now you're just trying to scare them.
No, I would like to know their reaction because I know mine would be I'd shut the panel and go, hey, you need to call somebody else. I got to go.
Call All Pro.
Exactly.
They can do a look over of, say, your electrical system, like Eddie's talking about. Or they also specialize in installing Generac generators, which not only keep the power on when storms roll through, especially if you're relying on medical devices, you need something like that.
Very smart. Very smart.
But it also treat it like an investment. A Generac generator adds value to your home, save up to 5% value to your home. And it really is just a great add-on, a great addition to any home.
Oh, it excites buyers. Let me go ahead and tell you. When we pull up and the buyers, especially the husband, sees a Generac generator, it excites them because they know their family's going to be safe when the power goes out.
And then, of course, if you are looking for just a basic checkup on that HVAC system, hey, we're about to hit that part of the year where you turn the AC and the heat on here.
Yeah, it's Alabama, baby.
So you better have that thing tuned up before you get it rolling that way. So check out All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical today at allproheatingair.com. That's allproheatingair.com. Or give them a call at 301-1961. That's 301-1961. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A weather alert along the Gulf Coast. The National Hurricane Center in Miami says Tropical Storm Francine has formed off the coast of Mexico and is expected to drench the Texas coast before coming ashore in Louisiana midweek as a hurricane. Forecasters say Francine should be a hurricane as it approaches the northwestern Gulf Coast on Wednesday. They're predicting a storm surge of up to 10 feet and warning of flooding
along the Texas coast and across southern Louisiana. On Wall Street, stocks have been rising and clawing back some of the losses from their worst week in nearly a year and a half. The Dow is now up 592 points, the Nasdaq adding 215, the S&P up 71. This is SRN News.
Donald Trump's indictment proves that saving America is not going to be easy. There are entrenched powers that are fighting this with everything they've got. They want to keep control over the country, the narrative, and the nation's money supply. Hi, I'm Lance Wallnau. I'm a news analyst, a Christian author, an evangelical leader. I speak to millions of people every week, people just like you. You see, what the elites are doing is using inflation and government handouts and now central bank digital currencies to determine how they're going to control America. And that's why I recommend all Christians start a gold IRA from the Birch Gold Group. Because physical precious metals are one of the few ways you can maintain control over your own savings. To get a free info kit on gold IRAs, text the word faith to 989898. Birch Gold Group is the only gold company I trust. Get their free info kit and you'll see why a gold IRA can help you. There are no strings attached. Text the word faith to 989898 and you're going to be blessed by taking action right now.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Everybody, this week is starting off dry and comfortable, but all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical development that could affect our forecast later in the week. Today, though, mostly sunny with a high temperature in the upper 80s and low humidity. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool, mid-60s tonight. More sun, 87 on Tuesday. The risk of rain beginning on Wednesday, but especially an increasing chance of some tropical downpours Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday. We could be dealing with a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but for us, it would be beneficial rainfall. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey to Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. Montgomery's Jackson Hospital has appointed Alan Willen as its chief restructuring officer following a bond payment default. The hospital's financial struggles have led to a significant downgrade in its bond ratings. Jackson Hospital failed to make the interest payment on a $60 million bond last Tuesday. A woman was struck and killed by a vehicle over the weekend in Montgomery. Police and fire medics were called to the area of Atlanta Highway and Sylvester Drive late Friday night. 74-year-old Charlotte Hall had been struck by a van and was pronounced dead on the scene. No other information has been released. Montgomery Mayor Stephen Reed has signed an ordinance to require anyone carrying a concealed gun in the city to also carry a photo ID. According to the ordinance, police can confiscate a concealed gun if the gun holder doesn't have proper identification. The gun holder would have to pay a fine and provide proof of purchase within 30 days in order to get the gun back. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Folks, now is the time to track your way to savings with Thompson Tractor. Because right now, we're offering 50% off on heavy-duty or general-duty compact track loader tracks. Talk about affordable. For a flat rate of just $311, you get your top-quality tracks installed in just 1 day or less at any Thompson Tractor location. Not only that, you get a free, comprehensive inspection during installation. All brought to you by the Parts and Service Partner, who's earned your trust since 1957. But hey, don't sleep on this offer. It's only good through September 30th. So get on down to the Thompson Tractor store nearest you or visit ThompsonTractor.com for details. Thompson Tractor. We're here.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
In politics, man must learn to rise above principles.
Fugazi. You know what Fugazi is? Fugazi. It's a fake. Yeah, Fugazi, Fugazi. It's a wazi, it's a woozy, it's a fairy dust. It doesn't exist. It's never landed. It is no matter. It's not on the elemental chart. It's not real. Right?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. I'm Joey, that's Eddie.
What's up, Joe?
Got a full board of calls.
Yeah, we do.
We get ready for the week ahead. Everybody ready for the debate tomorrow night?
What time is it tomorrow night, you know?
I don't even know.
Neither do I.
I don't really care. I'll watch it some way or the other.
You're watching it, all right?
Yeah, I'm going to watch it.
Why
would I not watch it?
Why? Because you had anything better to do.
That's true. Right. Yeah, no, there are some days where I just want to go live in a van down by the river and be one with the migrants and catch cats and
not have to care about stuff like this.
Right.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, just live a completely different.
Maybe do some trapping.
Right. Maybe get a tiny home, see the nation.
Very popular.
Right.
Very popular right
Maybe
now.
an old Winnebago.
Ooh,
renovate that up.
You know, honestly enough, I've got a friend that I told you before sold everything. They're just touring the country.
Mhm.
The biggest issue they have, Winnebago parks are so crowded, they can't just go like from here to say Florida. They've got to make reservations and wait.
Got to make a reservation in the Winnebago park?
That's my thought. I thought you could just show up, but apparently they're so crowded.
And I thought America was already bad enough.
Getting worse.
Let's go to Charles. Hey, Charles, how you doing?
What's up, brothers?
How you doing, man?
Hey, let me tell you. Doing good. Let me tell you something. That lady that called in 2 calls ago,
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to tell you, when the revolution starts, she's on my team. Y'all can have her. I will keep her equipped with everything she needs. Hell, I'll build her an AR. If she's just a small little old lady, I will make sure I build her one she can carry.
There you go.
Hey, let me tell you something. We would win the revolution with that woman running things. I can tell you that right now.
Yep. You're right, brother.
I can say her now. Go with the. It'd be like one of the Mad Max scenes. We put her on the front of the truck, man. She'll be like, burn it down.
Oh, she's been ranting since I started here 12
yeah.
years ago. She's been throwing down rants for years now.
Man, but she's always spitting back.
Yeah.
And the thing is about it is that's how the rest. Guess, let me tell you, all them polls you see, Kamala's got 46% and Trump's got 48% and all that. Let me tell you something. That ain't nothing but straight up lies, and it ain't nothing but the media that's propped this woman up, and because America's fed up, and everybody feels just like that woman does that called in.
Yeah.
But most of them don't have the cojones to express it like she does. I mean, that's just a fact right there, man. And all that, I mean, take that county in Ohio that was 100% Trump.
Yeah.
Okay? He just bust in 10,000 patients
Right.
to that county. That right there, if people don't see what they're doing, and the reason they don't want X around and all them other social media sites is because you can see firsthand right now what's happening in Britain,
Sure.
London, UK, and they don't want you to see it, man. They want you to be blind.
Yep.
So they can do it to us, just like they're trying to do in Silicaga.
Exactly right. And throw into that, there are almost 1 million people in the streets of Brazil on behalf of free speech. No major network picked it up. You can only find it on
You're
X.
right. Nobody picked it up.
Exactly, and I'm telling you, man, it's a really, really scary and sad state of affairs what our country's going through right now. And I wish more people would get their heads out of the clouds and pay attention before it's too late.
I agree, Charles.
I mean, it's just, But anyway, I just thought it was great listening to her. And yeah, I have, Joey. Years ago, I've heard her because I listen to you on my Bluetooth speaker while I'm doing houses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard her a couple times get emotional.
Oh, yeah.
She'll get real emotional. But
Imagine she gives a hell of a halftime speech, too.
She's raw and real, all right.
Hey, I'm telling you, boys, that if it ever breaks off into a revolution, see, that's what we need. It ain't a civil war.
That's
That
right.
ain't what we need. We don't need to be fighting each other. But she's on my team. You can't have her.
Appreciate the call, Charles.
Thank you, Charles.
Let's go to Mr. Pink. Hey, Mr. Pink, how you doing?
How you guys doing?
All right.
All right.
Yeah, I was listening to you guys, and it was kind of touching the nerve, and I was like, let me see what's going on with this immigration. So I found out that Alabama labor force like 5% plus immigrants. And I think the U.S. is like a third. So that's kind of crazy.
Yes.
But it's all the federal government, because I was like, who in Alabama is doing all this? And it's all federal government.
Yeah.
So then I had to do a little thinking. I was like, can't beat them, join them. I'm finna go get me an immigrant. Guys, you only need $25,000 to sponsor an immigrant? Yeah, Joe, you can get your wife.
Genius.
Oh, no.
25 grand, you say? All right. That's. Oh, yeah. All right.
But what I really wanted, when I say follow the money, like, who has the big-ass plantation that's, getting all these immigrants, man?
Well, that's why I was
I'm
wondering
sure-
about what places up there might be hiring or needing industrial, people for the industrial plants. But I don't know if that's the case or it's just a great way to change the state's voting over time.
And I don't even know if that's going to happen, because I think people are not going to give up their power. They're going to bring them in. They're going to let you work your back out.
Oh, yeah.
And then throw you out. Then throw you out, man.
Yep.
So you shouldn't be worried about
That's
immigrants taking over. Yeah, you don't see Mr. Pinkton took over yet.
You are ruling your world, though. So
Well, it's just a mess, and it just comes across as like there clearly is an agenda that they won't say until it's like after the fact.
Sure.
Like it's all these. It's dishonest at the beginning of the day, and it's not just the words they say are dishonest. The policy is dishonest.
Well, and they're doing it to
I believe
fellow
that.
Americans. They're doing it to you and me with intent.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I'm not going to say it's jobs that people don't want to do, because I'm not going to tell you where I work. But where I work right now, there's a lot of Dominicans that I'm pretty sure they don't have the papers or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure they start them off like 25,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I tell people about these jobs all the time. I had a guy working for Pritchard Water. I told him about this. Oh, he's right here with me.
Well, and
Right
part of the problem is some folks are, well, for instance, there's a show that's, very nationally renowned, very liberal show, NPR's This American Life. Well,
Really?
the members of NPR's This American Life got their testosterone levels tested.
Did any
all of the males had very low
Any of them break
testosterone.
triple digits at all?
Some low enough, doctors recommended medication.
Immediately.
And then a trans guest on that same show talks about when the trans person started taking testosterone, that person became more interested in science. All in the same show. And it's like, wait, it's NPR trolling themselves?
Right.
What is this? But I think there's something going on, and there's something literally in the water.
Yeah.
That's messing us up.
Let It is. I believe it too. Me and my old lady, we talked about 1 o'clock this morning, just went down a rabbit hole. But I wanted to ask you, has any president ever offered incentives like how to do like cash clunkers, like for you to have your own garden or to start your own, like a half acre for the community or something? Has there ever been any policies like that?
I know there's been local stuff, but I don't know honestly how sincere it was, and it was more of a community effort to bring the community together for a community garden, that type thing.
Well, and there's long been since the New Deal farm support, but that's now accrued to most of the big agricultural interest and not small farms.
Yeah, that's what I feel about everything. Even with that immigrant thing, like I said, I can go get one if I make over $25,000, but I'm thinking they're doing it on a mass scale.
I believe you're right. I think there's probably a minimum order. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you guys want to find out who's making all this money off this cheap labor, I mean, that might be a start.
There you go. Well, I appreciate the call,
All right,
Mr.
guys.
Bank.
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Billy. Hey, Billy, how you doing?
I'm doing all right there, man. Okay, I got a couple things I want to say here real quick.
All right.
One of them, that old lady that was on here earlier, she need to go back and go to bed and get up again. And the next thing that I look at, especially like Saturday, when you watch these football games on TV and everything, these stadiums be jam-packed. They ain't worried about Democrat, Republican, everybody there together.
Sure.
And I think all the stuff is going on, these people that are too old to vote, they need to go on back and come again. And then, when y'all talking about the immigrants, only thing I hear about them, you want to leave all these chickens and things in the country, goats and things. And ain't now convenience store in Montgomery that don't own, they're owned by Indians. Indians. They done bought the country out. They been bought the country out. Now they want to raise hell about it. And it ain't my fault, it's their fault. They're the ones sold out. Sold it to what they wanted to, and then I suffered the consequence. Suffer the consequence. You started it, now you can't get rid of it. That's just like a doggone woman. You got something, she can't do nothing with herself, don't nobody else want it, you stuck with it. And y'all have a good day, brother.
Good to hear from you, Billy.
Thank you, Billy.
His point about football stadiums being packed out.
Yeah.
Nobody, so only 26 people saw this because I still am, I'm an unknown person. I kind of like it, actually. But I posted on the Twitter, your politics is mostly is BS.
Oh, I did see that.
And doesn't matter. Stop pretending otherwise, unless you're making money on it or something respectable like that. See, people call them grifters, but I'm like, they're at least paying the mortgage. What do you got to show for it? A sticker that says I voted?
Yes.
Well, aren't you
It's
special?
an American flag on it.
And you start giving out lollipops. Here's a sucker. Enjoy yourself, Eddie. Let's go to Red Top. Hey, Red Top.
What's up, Red Top?
Hey, gosh, what a beautiful weekend and a beautiful day. I do believe the curse of summer may be over.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
I think that's the truth. And Eddie and I were discussing the redheads are taking over the sports world, too, like the U.S. Open, another redhead, and all them insane-looking Neanderthal giant redheads on the football teams, the pro football teams. Me and Eddie were saying, I don't want to line up against one of them things.
Yeah, when you see that red top flying through the helmet there, you're like, that's a serious dude on the other side of that. He's
you're
got
going
some
to have a
anger
problem
issues.
with
He's
that
going
one.
Viking. Yeah. Yes.
And you know what I like the best about T-Spear, and I do believe I'm correct about this, she's got a degree in organic chemistry. And that's my kind of woman. Now, you talk about being able to have an intelligent conversation with a woman. That's what. T-Spear, if you're listening and we ever get to a supper or something together, come over and say hello. We're going to have some talk. Now,
we're going to talk organic chemistry, baby.
Damn, I can learn something from a woman like that, man.
Yes, you could.
And she's damn tough, too.
Oh, yeah.
Lord have mercy.
Alabama tough.
Her and I would make a very dangerous team in a debate. against somebody else. There would be nothing left of them damn fools, whoever they were. And while everybody's pissing around, worried about everything else in the world, Vladimir Putin and Xi are getting all the countries of the world together. Vladimir Putin made a massive sweep of Asia last week, making all kinds of agreements with countries he never had any agreements with before.
Right.
And then, what is it, the BRICS?
Yep.
The BRICS. And you can correct me if I'm not saying it right.
No, you are.
Bunch of new countries in that. They got their alternative currency going. Even Jay Powell has admitted there's going to be a second world currency.
Yeah, BRICS is now bigger than the G7.
Yep.
Yeah. They done thrown away the gold pot, dudes. They done thrown it away. In the past 3.5 years, they have thrown it away. We're already at the edge when Donald Trump came to kind of hold it open. But this is beyond. Putin's richer than he's ever been, and none of the sanctions have worked. The only hope we got is getting Donald Trump back in there, who will hand Putin one of those playing cards like he handed the head of the Taliban and make him think twice. Roll Tide, go Trump.
Appreciate it, Red Top.
Hey, buddy.
Well, I'd say I don't think it's stupidity. I think we got a lot of very smart people that are sitting high on the hog or in high cotton right now. I think it's hubris.
Could be, Joey.
Like, they really have gone to the brain. If we say we're the indispensable nation enough times and repeat it over and over again, it'll just be true. It'll manifest itself. And it's
Maybe
like,
in their world, but
no,
not
I
in
don't
reality.
I don't think so. Actually, it seems like the trend I've noticed over the last several years, say over the decade I've been doing this, is the United States exerts more and more power, and it spends more and more money, and it has less and less to show for it. Like, what's the old line? Here's the way I put it. Archimedes, give me a lever and a place to stand, and I can move the world. Well, we've got plenty of clever levers that we use, whether monetarily or militarily or soft power with our culture and our economic investment from our multinational corporate interests. We got plenty of levers. I think our problem is we don't have much of a place to stand anymore. And every time we use one of those levers, it's like we're sinking into quicksand. So, are we going to wake up? I don't know. But it tends to be hubris invites nemesis. And we're starting to see the ugly fruit of that.
I don't think we hit the bottom yet.
272-9228. If you want to get in on the conversation, this part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And there at Montgomery Men's Health, well, they can help you fellas out. It's where NPR, This American Life, should have gone.
Yeah.
Because if you're suffering from low T, it's no fun. And it might be you don't even know it. It could be you're just like, why am I always tired? Why am I getting fat and I'm not eating more? Why am I losing muscle mass?
Happens.
Why am I never in the mood? My wife's hot.
Could be one of those issues, Joey.
Like, what's going on? I feel like I'm walking through my life in a fog. It could very well be low testosterone, especially if you got all that combined. So why not stop by Montgomery Men's Health today? You can book an appointment the same day you get in touch with them. And they have low T treatments there that can truly change lives. But that consultation, that first check to see if in fact you have low T, it's only $99.
That's it.
Test in a consultation, plus you'll get a PSA score, which is a great marker for prostate health.
Bonus.
And then they do have low T treatments there at Montgomery Men's Health that, can make your life much better. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym.
That's right, brother.
Yeah, brother. That's right, brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido.
Nothing wrong with that, brother.
No, that's just a fancy Latin word for wanting to have sex more.
That's right.
So y'all give them a call today. That number for Montgomery Men's Health, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to montgomerymenshealth.com to book your appointment today. Be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. By the way, I'm not making that up. That seriously, NPR's This American Life.
That surprised me, dude. Beta. Beta.
Oh my God.
It shouldn't surprise you either.
So Alex Blumberg, this is a write-up of it. It says, what are the numbers exactly? What is it for? What's Rakoff's? Off what? Rakoff is 274. You were at 144. I'm 104. Oh my God, says Sarah, the woman on the panel.
She has.
If you know testosterone scores, 274 is bad. You need to get it up. In the hundreds is even worse.
Yeah.
Something that happened after I started taking testosterone, this is a person named Griffin Hansberry, who's a trans person. Something that happened after I started taking testosterone, I became interested in science. I was never interested in science before. No way. Come on. Are you serious? I'm serious. I'm serious.
Stop. You make me snort.
Oh, man. Are you serious? That's amazing. And those numbers are bad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Those
real
are
bad.
horrible
They
numbers.
probably feel like crap.
That would be my guess. Is why did it take them so long? Did they not go to a doctor beforehand? And go,
Yeah,
you know
no,
what?
I think they just get used to life, and that's how you are. And
Well, I will say this.
I was walking around a long time
Yeah.
with it, and I just thought I was tired and all the time.
Well, I did physicals every year, especially when I was driving a truck for Icy and that. So I had to do truck stop or what they called truck driver physicals. Until I asked for testosterone, that wasn't part of my physical. Until I asked for them to check my number. Now they will do it, and there was no extra charge for it. But for years, I had no idea. So I would hope these guys wake up.
Again, 334-272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Chris.
Hey,
Good
Chris. Hey, Chris.
afternoon.
How you doing?
Hey, I think they were saying at one point that if you lift weights, your right wing. Remember all that stuff?
Oh, that is true. Yes.
Yeah, so
that's true.
Hey, I do have to say something that's kind of interesting. So, at the city of Montgomery, we're seeing some activity from the governor's office and Hal Taylor and all those folks at Aaliyah. And, it came out of people calling the governor's office. And it was interesting. People posted this form letter that Kay Ivey's office sent everybody back. Hey, thanks. This is more of a local issue. You got to take it up. But I think she got blasted enough to where she felt like she had to, put some people in charge and start doing some things here in the city to help out. This is the same thing that needs to happen with this Haitian migrant stuff that's going on here in the city.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the state.
In the state, yeah.
People just got to call and wear her out. I don't think, I don't know if they're really actively watching this situation, but it's obviously, and I don't think it's a political strategy, but I think it's more of like an asymmetrical warfare. I mean, this is a way that you destroy a nation.
That's my thought.
You just flood it full of immigrants, right? And people that were not willing to, to socialize or whatever and find their place in their community, and you just completely break it apart and balkanize it. And so this is just a strategy they use to destroy a nation. And this is kind of that globalist mindset, right? The Democrats say, well, we got to watch out for these poor people. We got to help them out and all this. But you go to the WEF and these other globalist organizations. That's a way to make everybody even.
Yeah.
They don't want a one superpower.
Yep.
They just want everybody to equally suck.
Yep. So they handicap us. That's what they do. That's what they've been trying to do for years.
And then what they do the next step forward. When you say anything bad about it, you're a racist, xenophobe, and all this stuff. And then what they do when they control the media, they silence.
Well, and get this. This was a op-ed posted at the World Economic Forum. And let me read this real quick. There have been significant developments in the last 5 to 7 years on social, environment, and technology fronts that could help realize the quote-unquote My Carbon initiatives for shaping the future towards smart and sustainable cities, writes the World Economic Forum. Specifically to mention 3 developments in this context, and I'm just going to read number 1, the number 1 development.
Okay.
COVID-19 was a test of social responsibility. A huge number of unimaginable restrictions for public health were adopted by billions of citizens across the world. There were numerous examples globally of maintaining social distancing, wearing masks, mass vaccinations, and acceptance of contact tracing applications for public health, which demonstrated the core of individual social responsibility. Oh, shove it up your ass!
Mm-hmm.
Wow! That's just evil SOBs.
But see, the thing is, they are, and the problem is WEF has touched everybody in all sides of the political spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, our buddy over there, Governor Kemp, I mean, he was going to meetings just last year over at the World Economic Forum. I mean, these guys, they touch everything, and they're able to control all these people.
Yep.
And if you go, I thought it was interesting. I went to LinkedIn and just typed in WEF, and the numbers of people that have been in or some type of contact, they put it into their, biography. It's unbelievable how many people are involved in that organization. But it is. This is asymmetrical warfare of globalist kind. This is not like Russia doing it or China doing it. This is a group of globalists that are trying to destroy your nation to make you equally terrible.
Yep.
So, that's my thing. But I would say everybody, especially for folks in Sylacauga, you got to stand up, start calling the governor.
I think that's a good idea.
Put on a big boy pants and say something.
I think that's a good idea.
They do. And I'm telling you, you don't realize the pressure when you're talking nicely to somebody, but firmly and telling them what you think. They listen. I'm telling you, that deal that happened here in Montgomery, Alabama, that was pressure put on KIV with the local people here, and it did. It did. We saw some movement, and it could happen. So that's my 2 cents.
Appreciate it, Chris, and need to keep the momentum going here in the city. Appreciate it, sir. And also another immigration story. This is just 30 seconds from Baltimore. Let's listen in to this real quick.
Tell me about Kayla.
She was sleeping in her bed. He broke into her room and strangled her after she died and just left her on the floor like trash.
When you heard that Martinez was in a public high school in Maryland, what did you think, knowing that he was the main suspect in your daughter's murder?
I was really upset. You're sitting there putting this monster into high school. You're putting children at risk. Somebody needs to be held accountable.
Fox 45 News Project Baltimore investigates.
That's Fox 45 there in Baltimore saying they've learned an MS-13 gang member in the country illegally was attending a Maryland public school while he was the primary suspect in that vicious murder of that woman's daughter.
It does not surprise me, man.
Man, you think you got it bad in Baltimore already. 272-9228. Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
Papa B.
Hey, Papa B.
Hey, guys. Stories just like the last one there that really smack people in the face that, are like reliable Democrat votes. And that's pretty much what has to happen. To people that would say, quote unquote, never vote for Trump or haven't voted Republican in years, it's kind of it's more, I would say it's a skin bracer moment, but it's a skin bracer moment using somebody's fist instead of just slapping them. Because when you see the reality of the actual killing, murder, horrible things that happen when the Democrat Party does things that they want to do with this immigration, it makes you have to think. They can't ignore it, and it makes them really understand the consequences. So I don't like it. I wish it didn't have to happen that way, but since it's going to happen that way anyway, at least maybe they would stand up and take note of it. And I think that's what's happening. You see a broad spectrum of, the population now that are saying, we can't take this. We can't do it. We've got to do something about it and not, vote for somebody like Biden or now Kamala.
Well, we'll see. This should be, I think, the issue in the debate tomorrow night. Now we'll see how ABC behaves themselves.
Yeah. Now, I want to just say, about Judge Juan Merchant, is that his name? I was wrong when I said I figured that he was going to take Trump and throw him in jail, but as it turns out, I'm only half wrong. Or half right, depending on, whether you're an optimist or a pessimist. Because if he really didn't want to do anything, like if he wanted to just give him probation or some kind of light sentence, well, he would already have done it. So why is he changing tactics, I guess? Because he realized, maybe the people that are pulling his puppet strings realized that throwing Trump in jail was a loser.
Yes.
You know, it was just going to make him that much more popular. And so they've decided, we can't do that. We've got to do something else, but they don't want to let it go altogether. So I guess they're going to wait till after the election and try to cause trouble or whatever it is that they're trying to do with it. What do you have any ideas of why in the world?
No, I think you're right. The first half, what you said was completely right. They just wanted to punt this for later.
But if Trump loses,
I think they go after him.
They got. I mean, that's
Oh,
he's got to win.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah, he does. Not to belabor the point, but they also want a 14th Amendment solution. And if putting him in jail, delaying the election, keeping him away from the White House, will get what they want, they'll do it
No,
too.
sure.
So, there's all kind of good reasons to wait, but no good reason to put him in jail before. Anyway, all right, guys.
Appreciate
Thanks
the
a
call.
lot.
Yeah, bud.
272-9228. Quick break here. We'll come back to some more calls. Again, at 334-272-9228.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
You probably know lots of people you trust to mow your lawn or wash your car. But when it comes to electrical work, you're picky. And you should be. See, electricity is complicated and potentially dangerous. The sad truth is, each year there are thousands of home fires caused by faulty wiring. Crosby Electric has been serving the river region for almost 50 years. Their technicians are held to the highest standards of the profession. To wear the Crosby Electric uniform, you have to undergo background checks, rigorous drug testing, continuous education, and safety training. The technicians at Crosby are specialists. They don't do plumbing. They don't fix air conditioners. They simply provide superior electric service in a safe and timely manner. Don't take chances. When you need electrical work, or if you just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us online at crosbyelectric.com.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contract. With PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values. This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Well, hi, everybody. This week is starting off dry and comfortable, but all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical development that could affect our forecast later in the week. Today, though, mostly sunny with a high temperature in the upper 80s and low humidity. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool, mid-60s tonight. More sun, 87 on Tuesday. The risk of rain beginning on Wednesday, but especially an increasing chance of some tropical downpours Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday. We could be dealing with a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but for us, it would be beneficial rainfall. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Have you heard the news? Capital Tractor will soon be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. With lots of Kubota inventory, we're going to sell it instead of move it. Our big moving sale is a great time to get a great deal on a Kubota at Capital Tractor in Montgomery.
The River Region's first and only news talk station on FM. Live, local talk. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon. Now, did you see that the Georgia senator, who is another surrogate for Harris, Raphael Warnock?
Yes, I know who you're speaking of.
Yeah, the preacher. He was on Meet the Press, and they asked him about Harris's promise to do mandatory gun confiscation programs.
What was his thoughts?
Let's listen in.
Should she also be, in your opinion, supporting a mandatory gun buyback program?
Listen, we're not going to be able to get where we need to go without action in Congress. We've got to pass some laws to deal with this. Now, I was heartened by the fact that 2 years ago we finally did a gun safety law, the Safer Communities Act. And it was the first gun safety law we passed in 30 years. 30 years. And it was modest, but it did save lives. But clearly, in the wake of what happened just the other day in Winder, Georgia, it's not enough. And the least we can do is move forward on the bipartisan spaces where ordinary people agree. Clearly, there's a disconnect between what the people, the American people, want and what they're able to get out of their government. Again, 87% of Americans believe in background checks. And yet I hear politicians say that it's not guns who kill people, it's people who kill people. And yet we don't even want to know who those people are. We won't even support them.
Did he answer the question?
No.
Yes or no, though? Should she support the mandatory buyback program? Just a yes or no.
Listen, look, as a pastor, I've done buyback programs. You can pick this issue or that issue. But I think that, again, there's not one single thing that will make all of this go away.
He looks like Leon Black.
Who's Leon Black?
Guy that's from Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry's roommate. The black guy on there.
J.B. Smoove?
Yes. You don't think so?
Actually, there is.
Yeah, it looks like it could be his dad.
Actually, yeah.
Yeah, when you first pulled it up, I had to do a double
if
take.
Warnock's profile rises up, I could see JB on SNL.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And he would do it.
Now you got me thinking about scenes between Larry David and those
I
two.
love it.
Oh, my God.
He is hysterical.
It's so funny.
Great addition to the show.
Let's go to the phones and talk to Sam. Hey, Sam.
What's up, Sammy?
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you. Hey, I was afraid y'all were going to bring me in behind the immigrant murderer story. That was kind of rough. But,
that's just insane. Like he murders somebody in cold blood. It's like, yeah, you can still go to high school.
Well, it's crazy enough when you see some of those interviews of people, in the interrogation room. A lot of them do think tomorrow I can go right back to school, right? And you're like, no, you committed murder. You will not be leaving the building.
No, in time out. That's it. It's just it's sad and it's tragic. And, it doesn't fit with my phone calls usually. But the gun thing, that the whole new Montgomery gun law.
Yeah.
Shoot, I like the sound of this. And, there's going to be people joking about, the police are going to be stealing guns, new gun stealing law. But, if you're 14 or 15 out there and you can't produce an ID, whose pistol have you got? And, let the police hold it for you a little while.
I don't worry about the police stealing them.
And then the attorney general's already come out and said this is illegal on the state level.
Somebody's waiting for somebody to challenge it and all that.
And honestly, I don't mind it. Let the fight commence. I think that actually
it's a bad law. I just, it's a process thing. I don't think it's bad at all.
I think it's a great thing, but I'm just dealing in the rhetoric. There'll be all the racket and noise that gets drummed up, and that's what I had. But other than that, what I really get behind is the Joey Clark import wife plan. I like the sound of that. And listen. Here's the deal. They got the GoFundMe. Yeah, Joey's a nice guy. And, I say we could get enough money to sponsor several wives. And
what do we do with the ones that don't make the cut? Somebody's
Well,
got to
look,
be
there's-
responsible for them.
well, you know, there's a lot of space right there at the studio, that upstairs.
I don't know if that's a
And
good
y'all got
idea.
Y'all got the microwave there for the goose cookers.
Keep
You know,
spitballing,
they-
Sam. Keep spitballing, brother.
That's all I got. Yeah, man. What a show. All right, thank y'all.
See you, brother.
Yeah, you're like, wait.
He's spitballing. Give him a minute, man. He's
Yeah,
spitballing.
no, but he tried to get me on Love Island.
If you would have just signed the release form, we could have got you there, man. You just refused to sign the
Yeah,
release
and I
form.
would have been the only person to never have sex on that show.
How will you know if you don't try, buddy?
I've tried before.
I don't think the Disney cruise thing worked. That's not.
Yeah,
good,
that doesn't
Joey.
count. That doesn't count at all.
Oh, I've seen some. But speaking of cruises, I've seen a lot of videos from cruises lately. I don't think you could force me on a cruise anymore.
Really?
Yeah, the fights, the amount of fights.
Really?
Like in a mall.
Yeah, I've been on a few cruises, and actually, some weren't bad. I wouldn't want to do it all the time.
Yeah, they openly fight. Like at the pool, they'll be, and it's not 1, 2 people. It's 5, 6, 8, 10 people, and then they get to the next port of call, and they just dump them off the boat.
Goodness gracious.
No, thank you.
272-9228. Let's go to Crawdad. Hey, Crawdad.
In my years of wisdom, I shall tell you, sex is how you tell bunny rabbits apart.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind that. Sometimes you have to hold the chicken up and down and then blow the feathers. Anyway, I want to tell you, in the immortal words of Billy Crystal, you boys are looking marvelous on the show.
Oh, well, thank you.
Does he remember that? You're too young, Billy Crystal.
I know Billy
You
Crystal.
look marvelous.
Look marvelous. Now, yes, you got me going earlier, and I really enjoyed hearing the story about your Uncle Mel. That was fantastic. I enjoyed that. Wish could do a little more reading from your writing. That's really nice. And then you threw me down and stomped it flat, as the man said over there. You tore up my heart and stunk it flat when you telling me about people doing things, bad things, hurting and taking people's kitty cats and hanging them up a tree like deer.
Yep.
No, I don't want to hear about that right after hearing about Uncle Mel's cat. No, sir, that messed me up. I had to get up just to call you. But thank you for telling me the story about Uncle Mel. That was great.
You're welcome.
Then a question for you guys. If you remember when William Jefferson Clinton was in the White House, he passed something changing immigration rules for Health and Human Services regulation, inspecting anybody who wants to come into the country. He changed it where it used to be a rule that if you had a communicable sexual disease, if you had that, you could not come in. And he reversed it so people from Haiti could come in. I remember because I was listening to radio at lunch hour sitting in the car when I heard this, and I thought, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
You want to let sexually communicable diseases, people, you're going to... And then, that's years later, we have people going down to Haiti to help out. And my friend, who is from Covington County, by the way, Joey, was your family from Covington County?
Yes, part of it.
I thought so. His wife, my friend, his wife and his 2 daughters went to do missionary work in Haiti to helping people. This is before things went crazy, but after the Bop Doc and Baby Buck Doc, after that, and that place it is hell. But now you're saying, well, let's just bring in everybody and don't worry about what they did down there. Now, can I ask a very short question about Sam from Pike there? He brought this up and it made me thinking. I have, let's say, a large collection of my favorite marbles. Lots and lots of marbles that I bought at a gun show. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And Mr. Ed Farish, I don't have any receipt, no bill of sale. I have many things or marbles, by the way. How in the world can a person be expected if Officer Bob pulls you over here for running the little stop sign on the Vaughn Road, and he says, do you have anything I need to know about? And I can say, well, I have this, right here. Can you prove it's yours? Well, I don't, but I don't have a driver's license, but I have a picture ID with my face on it and my name and all, but, I don't have any proof of ownership. So you're telling me I can come back down there to Ripley Street in 30 days and get my sack of marbles because I've lost a lot of them, That was I lost a lot of marbles.
I thought the deal was you just had, if I've got a gun in my possession, I have to have photo ID. I didn't think the law was
I'm sorry,
that it was my gun.
More to it. You have to prove if they confiscate.
If they confiscate it, then you have to have proof of ownership.
Confiscate it.
If you didn't have ID.
That's a big if word right there.
Right.
About we're just going to here's a receipt. I'm taking it down to Ripley Street. Come down and pick it back up. But if you cannot prove that it is yours, more than 30 days goes by, we're going to, quote, destroy. I don't believe that for a second. I want my marbles back.
Well, I appreciate the call, Crawdad. I have to run.
I need a lawyer. Thank you. Bye.
That's where you got to do is, the law is going to be challenged, and that's why it's going to be overturned.
Well, we got to hit a break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And they're at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim and Madeline. Kim Williams, Madeline Cannon. They're ready to help you out, especially all the rage these days are refinance deals. It's just the truth. Folks have been using that credit card, leaning on their credit cards to make ends meet. And so if you're stuck under a mountain of credit card debt or any sort of debt, but in particular credit card debt, why not, if you have equity built up in your home, get yourself on a sounder financial footing with a great refinance deal there at Alabama Home Mortgage. Kim and Madeline can help you and get that turnaround 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. It's pretty amazing how quickly they can turn it around for you.
Yeah.
So call them up today at 567-4223. That's 567-4223, or visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Again, refinance deals, or if you're looking to purchase a home, they can walk you through that home buying process. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money? Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdit. You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist? That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. I see. Yes, he is our preferred money man. The money man with the money plan. You've been paying attention. Well, could you give us those numbers one more time? 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man. Oh, what's that? I'm not an elk. Not an elk, huh? Well, then, pray tell, what are you? Knights of Columbus. I am not even going to make a comment. Well, the baby liked it.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, Call us today for your free measure.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
Elevate your home with the timeless elegance of Cabinet Renovations, LLC. For over 40 years, Eddie Basham has been Montgomery's trusted name in kitchen and bathroom cabinet makeovers. From classic designs to modern updates, they craft beautiful cabinets and countertops to fit your style. And with up to 18 months interest-free financing, it's easier than ever to get started. Contact them today at 334-279-7152 or visit CabinetRenovationsLLC.com. Cabinet Renovations, LLC, where your home's new look begins.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Live, local talk. The River Region's most trusted voice for news and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Michael Cohen of Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing today?
Hey, Joey, I'm doing great.
So, 'tis the season to be grilling. Like, it's starting to feel like the fall a little bit, not quite the summer heat. So you have a lot of options out there for folks who say want to grill out as they watch, say, a football game.
Yes, sir, we sure do. We have the Napoleons, we have the Kamado Joes, we have MHP, and we also have Traeger.
And it depends on what the person is looking for exactly, right?
That's right, because MHP, those were the same grills that the gas company used to install for customers. So if you got a little pod in your backyard, we can replace that with this. The Traeger is naturally for the people that are into the pellets. Kamado Joe, it can double as a smoker, and it's a great charcoal grill. And then Napoleon gives you gas, and then you can also do a little bit of charcoal with the Napoleon. And it's got that cool sear station.
Oh, yeah. And I'd imagine, like with all your great products there, y'all can deliver?
Oh, yes, yeah. So assembly's available, delivery's available. We cannot hook up the gas. If you get one that's natural gas, that is something. If you have a cutoff, we can. But typically we can do the whole deal.
There you go. Well, folks, get by there. You can always look at these grills. I'm looking at them right now at thinkcohens.com. But you got to get by there in person on the Eastern Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery is Cohen's location. You can always stop by 9 through 6, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And be sure to find Michael or one of the great team members. Say, hey, I heard Michael on the radio with Joey and that Eddie guy.
We're just proud Eddie's there.
Yes, we are.
Well, thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
See you, brother.
All right. Y'all have a great day.
You too, man.
Again, that's Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Be sure to tell them that you heard Michael here in the airwaves with us. Got to hit our top of the hour break. Y'all hold your horses on the phones.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. A judge has agreed to move the trial of a man charged in the stabbing deaths of 4 University of Idaho students to a different city. The judge saying he was concerned about defendant Brian Koberger's ability to receive a fair trial at the Lada County Courthouse in Moscow, Idaho, given extensive media coverage. Out-of-control wildfires in the foothills of a national forest east of Los Angeles and in a recreational area south of Reno, Nevada, threatening buildings and forcing hundreds of residents to evacuate both of those areas. And Kate, Princess of Wales, has completed her chemotherapy treatment for cancer. She thanks supporters for their kindness and compassion. On Wall Street, stocks remain higher, the Dow up 446 points. This is SRN News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group, and I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney, and the truth is I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-838-8822. That's 800-838-8822. 800-838-8822. The Rich Thomas Weather Network, brought to you by Alabama Wholesale Lumber. Alabama Wholesale Lumber, serving the river region with the best quality building materials for decades. Contractor to do-it-yourselfer. Call Alabama Wholesale Lumber.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. This week is starting off dry and comfortable, but all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical development that could affect our forecast later in the week. Today, though, mostly sunny with a high temperature in the upper 80s and low humidity. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool, mid-60s tonight. More sun, 87 on Tuesday. The risk of rain beginning on Wednesday, but especially an increasing chance of some tropical downpours Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday. We could be dealing with a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but for us, it would be beneficial rainfall. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
1819 News.
Well, a week after the governor of Alabama has called on the commissioner of the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs to resign, now several veterans groups are seeking to back the commissioner, Kent Davis, and keep him in that position. Davis has already declined to comply with the governor's request that he resign, saying that he respectfully disagrees with the governor and her implications that the department is being mismanaged. Now, the Alabama Veterans of Foreign Wars commander, Eric Dudash, has issued a public letter saying Davis is a tireless advocate for veterans. Also, the president of the South Alabama Veterans Council, Louis Lartigue, sent a letter to the governor asking her to bring this highly unusual and unfounded request to a close. And the commander of the American Legion, Don Madden, says that the 16,000 veteran members in his group fully support the work of Commissioner Davis as well as his staff. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Schaefer with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
Police in Mobile have arrested a juvenile for placing a threat on social media that was directed to the Causey Middle School. The threat was discovered by police this past Sunday, and an arrest was made on Monday morning. The juvenile is charged with making a terrorist threat. And a school resource officer at Pelham Park Middle School is on administrative leave for potentially inappropriate text to one of the former students. The officer's name is not being made known at this point, and no charges have been officially filed in this case. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
No one wants to wait on service for an overhead door. With 20 years in the industry, you now have access to the best with All Access Overhead Door. All Access Overhead Doors offers prompt professional service at affordable prices on all service and new garage doors for residential and commercial locations. All Access Overhead Door serves the river region and can take care of whatever you need when it comes to your overhead door. Remember, you have access to the best. All Access Overhead Door. Call and schedule an appointment today. 320-2440. And like them on Facebook. They sell the best in and service the rest.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back.
He hurt me.
272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Bill has been very patient.
Yeah, he has.
So let's go to Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hi, guys.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. So let me ask y'all a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find it kind of a odd coincidence that a certain mayor in a certain city comes back from the DNC and signs a new law to confiscate guns?
That's interesting.
No, I don't find it odd.
If you don't think it's a coincidence, it ain't. Because I guarantee you, it's just a long line of things this man has done to further his career now that he's aging out as the mayor of Montgomery. Well, let me ask you another question, and I was thinking about this the other day. What happens if during the debate, Kamala just melts down? Trump rips her up one side and down the other and just, demolishes her.
Well, I did see on Twitter.
They're going to go to Gavin Newsom next?
I did see on Twitter this weekend that they're having her, during the debate prep, they're having her debate with a man dressed up as Donald Trump. I don't know if it's true or not, but I enjoyed that so much.
And what Tulsi Gabbard's really helping Trump prepare, I believe.
Is that right?
She's standing in for Kamala, which is a good person.
Yeah.
Tulsi's knows what she's doing in that regard.
Yeah, she's pretty amazing. It's hard to believe, and I don't know if y'all have seen some of the feeds where she says that the TSA targeted her and her husband.
Yes.
Because they were put on a watch list.
Oh, yeah.
And how she found out. A TSA person finally told her, look, he said, I don't understand. You're military, active military. You should not be on this list. Something's up.
Well, common sense would tell you that if you go to an airport and you are searched to the extent that she was, because it sounds like they did everything but a body cavity search on her.
On the regular.
And her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as you land, they target you again.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you go back to get on the plane, because it's just a layover and you're going somewhere else,
that's what she said.
They do the same thing. Nobody has that kind of odds. Nobody. If she does, she needs to go buy a lottery ticket tomorrow.
But here's the thing. All right, we know that's wrong, and there's no doubt. I don't care what anybody says. That's a setup. But where's the pushback? Who's the person that made that call that's gonna get in trouble? Not gonna.
Well, nobody.
Right.
Because she's not on the favored list.
Right, but there should be a Republican. There's two parties. Remember, and they're supposed to represent everybody. So there should be someone in a camp going, hold on, we don't tolerate that. But they don't. They go, you know what? We're going to let that slide because we're going to do it to them. They're not in it for you and me. They're in it for themselves.
Oh, absolutely. And I've known that for decades. You don't have to look very far. Look at our governor. Mm. If I was the governor of the great state of Alabama, I would be going wide open, setting up laws and statutes for the state of Alabama to protect my citizens from the federal government.
Yep.
They can do that.
Yeah, you're right.
They need to do that. Let me just remind y'all of two things. South Dakota and Wyoming are both between 78 and 80% conservative Republicans, and both states have less than 1 million people in them. So if I come up missing,
yeah,
you know where to look. Y'all have a great day.
Appreciate it, Bill.
That's beautiful out there, too.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Well, hello. I had to drop off. My little
Hey,
wacky
Paul.
was ringing my bell.
What's happening, Paul?
Howdy, howdy, howdy. Well, I've been out of the loop because I was on the phone with her, and I kind of missed in between here and there. But what I wanted to bring up earlier was we was talking about cats being strung up like a deer and hogs and whatnot.
Right, right.
You know, it's probably before Joey's time. He probably don't remember this, but back shortly after the Vietnamese War, and we was allowing people to come in from Vietnam, they was doing the same thing, only in the backyards with the neighbors' dogs and cats. They was all through Highland Guards and Chisholms. I know for a fact. I saw it myself. But it never made any social. We didn't have no social media back then.
Right. Made the Coconut Telegraph. That was about it.
And that was about it.
Yep.
You know, you could throw a rock at them to get their attention and shake your head no, leave that dog alone, leave that cat alone, and they'd run in the house.
Yep, I do remember that. I mentioned it to Joey off air. I do remember that.
But there wasn't nothing ever mentioned in the local papers or the local radios or TVs either.
No.
They just let them do. They just let them do what they want to. As far as they was concerned, it was better for the animal control because they didn't have to go out and pick up any stray animals. There wasn't no such thing as a stray animal back then.
Yeah.
It was in somebody's backyard getting checked out and then be butchered tomorrow.
Oh, and I just feel like that was, that's the 70s? That was probably
70s, early 80s.
A rougher America, too, where people didn't like that, obviously. But I also, I did the research. Remember Mr. Cheeseface, the one on the National Lampoon, the dog?
Oh, yeah.
If you don't buy this, the dog gets it. Mr. Cheeseface was killed on his family farm by a hunter, killed several dogs that year because he's like, I'm in the middle of hunting, I'm going to kill your damn dog, gets in my way. Yeah. And I just feel like this is like, that's an old school America.
Well, it is funny because back then when something we'd stolen from our yard, say my bicycle got stolen, we didn't call the cops.
Right.
Usually went and found it, and then we told my dad, and my dad just went and got it back. That was just the norm.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, or like with me and my brothers and my cousins, just get with an older brother or an older cousin and just walk up and say, hey, that's mine right there. And then the older brother or older cousin just walked over and looked at it. So are you sure? Absolutely. Show them a marked one from where you done had a boo-boo somewhere because we was always doing stuff that we shouldn't, leaving marks on our bikes. So
Paul's
that's where our...
Yeah, you're right, Paul.
I bounced off the curb.
It wasn't always my dad. A lot of times it was my sisters. I had to go get my sisters to fight some of my fights for me. Thanks, Paul. Thanks. Thanks, Paul.
Wish you'd be hard. Later, guys. Love you.
Later.
See you, Paul.
272-9228. Now, you bringing up cruises, it reminded me of the last cruise I went on was that Disney cruise.
Yeah.
And there was one couple, they were had to be in their 70s. And they're like, this is our 25th Disney cruise. Here's some mouse ears. And it was like gold leaf mouse ears. And I'm like, thanks for the gold. And I'm like, what is the deal with Disney adults?
Oh, there's a lot of them. In fact, there's a buddy of mine at Hyundai.
It's so...
When they retire, they're going down there to work. That's what they want to do. That's their life's goal.
To work at Disney.
Yeah, that was their life's goal. They couldn't afford to do it, so they worked at Hyundai to build up enough money. So when they retire, they are going to go work at Disney. No.
Well, at least they're going to work there. Like the folks who, you're 50, and the thing you're looking forward to the most is to go to Disney World.
That ain't me. Now, if bringing the grandkids be a different thing.
Sure,
but
no, bringing the kids.
Me and Susanna, no.
Yeah, just you and the wife. Let's go to Disney World, honey.
We're going to no.
Get a load of this. From the Los Angeles Times, Disney-obsessed couple lose lawsuit to get back into exclusive Club 33. The club's yearly dues were $31,500. And with travel and hotel expenses, the Arizona couple was spending close to $125,000 annually. Disney revoked their membership after an allegation that Scott Anderson was drunk in public.
I got a Disney club he could join.
The Andersons, both 60, have spent the year since and hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to get back into Club 33. On Tuesday, an Orange County jury rejected their claim that Disney ousted them improperly. It had taken the Andersons more than a decade to gain membership in Club 33, which includes access to exclusive lounges, dining, VIP tours, and special events. They finally made it off the waiting list in 2012. They finally became part of this special place, their attorney told jurors in the civil trial. That was their spot. That was their happy place. Their home.
Wow. For that kind of money, you could have your own amusement park.
I know!
I mean,
the heck are you going to Disney? I guess this was Disneyland out in California, but
that ain't even that big. That's like 4 or 5 city square blocks. It's nothing. It's weird.
Like, yeah, it's just the weird infantilization of like, you know, I get that. I'm going through this phase. I'm in my mid-30s, and I kind of like the nostalgia stuff.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, I remember that N64 game.
What's
or
the
I remember
most
that
you would
movie.
pay, though, Joey? What's the most of your
good
life
God,
would
nothing.
you spend?
Nothing.
Right.
I would spend no money on going back to Disney World.
Time, effort. Why? And if you got that kind of money, I don't know. You know, people with that kind of money.
You can do nostalgia, but if your whole identity becomes this thing, like you're 60 years old and all you want to do is go to Disney World. And you know, it's a free country, whatever floats your boat.
But like, but if Disney says no, then I'm sorry. I got it.
Yeah, you were drunk in public, sir. He was really
But they
enjoying
serve
it.
beer.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
I drank 5 Long Island
Right.
iced teas in an hour.
That's what I'm wondering too. How bad did his behavior have to be? They're like, you're out of the club, man, forever.
So that story just caught me off guard. I'm like, seriously, there are full-grown adults spending that amount of money just to be going to Disney World or Disneyland, be part of some exclusive club.
What kind of benefits does that club have, man?
Now, going to the real fake news from the Babylon Bee, and this one hit me right in the heart.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. This one's all about, well, what's the headline? Americans unanimously agree. We hardly unanimously agree on anything.
Really?
Americans unanimously agree to vote for whichever candidate stops sending them campaign donation text messages.
Oh, Joey, that could be a very motivational thing for me.
Most of the time, I just delete and report junk.
That's how I know it doesn't work. I report spam 10,000 times a day.
And sometimes I just text stop. They're like, text stop to stop.
I
And
never had the
then
patience.
sometimes I get a little more salty.
Yeah,
and
I
like,
never had the patience for just stop.
by the way, I did say F off and do it quickly.
Yeah.
And it like 5 minutes later came out, okay, you've been unsubscribed.
That was a good one, man. That was a good one.
You know, and I feel bad for some of the poll workers who call you up and, you know, they're just trying to do a job. But Americans on both sides of the political divide, writes the Babylon Bee, have finally united under a single issue. Every single American in the United States has agreed to vote for whichever candidate stops sending them campaign donation text messages first. Political analysts say that the move probably stems from the average man getting fed up with receiving over 3,400 text messages soliciting monetary donations from the Trump and Harris campaigns combined. I made the mistake. I donated this year because I bought 2 of the Vivek Ramaswamy shirts for you and I. And,
you made the list.
And now they won't stop sending me crap. It's like, I can't. Especially when it's like personalized. Hey, this is Ted Cruz. We need your...
Okay.
Oh, my God. How dumb! How dumb is the average person?
So I'm going to say this at the risk
If
of...
they're obviously that dumb, if they're sending that text, it must work.
It does work, duh. I'm telling you this at the risk, I hope Greg's not listening yet.
Yeah.
But there's an envelope that you can get mailed to Trump supporters.
Yeah.
And it says, thanks for the donation from the Biden-Harris campaign. And then when you open it up, there's a little personalized card. It says, thanks for your $200 donation to the Biden-Harris campaign. We will look forward to the auto draft coming next month. People are flipping out, as you can imagine.
Yeah, they are.
Especially people my age and older, yeah, because a lot of times you feel like you don't have control of your bank account. You know, just sometimes money just flies out of there.
Now, here's some more real fake news
All
from
right.
the Babylon Bee. Trump prepares for debate against Kamala by going to bar and arguing with drunks. Out of Orlando, Florida, sources close to Republican presidential candidate Donald J. Trump report that the former president is preparing for his upcoming debate with Kamala Harris as realistically as possible by going to wine bars and arguing with drunk people. Yes, it's true. I did come up with a great way to practice for Kamala, Trump explained to several staffers. I thought to myself, Donald, where would Kamala Harris most likely be in the world, do you think? I kid you not. And I thought, well, and let me tell you, folks, she'd love to be at a wine bar. I keep expecting her any day, honestly. Very good practice, arguing with drunks. I'm looking forward to the debate, believe me. Again, that's from the Babylon Bee.
Pretty good one there.
I gotta love that
pretty
fake
good.
stuff right there. How did you see that Senator Katie Britt is now calling the national debt, $35 trillion national debt?
Yeah.
Quote, a tipping point of a nation in decline.
I'm glad it's on her radar.
She did this at an event in Birmingham where Goldman Sachs has promised to fund 10,000 small businesses, and Alabama, I think, is the first state to get this pilot program.
That'd be interesting to get some details.
So let's see if Goldman Sachs actually backs up
Yeah,
that promise.
that'd be interesting.
But in particular, I think the debt is the biggest thing we're facing right now. And no matter who wins in November, I tend to think it's going to continue to be an issue because I don't think the will is there.
I agree. I think it is going to be an issue. I really do.
Because as soon as you start cutting in the way you need to be cutting, people are going to freak out.
Agreed. But if we do have a Trump administration and we have someone like Vivek in there running that, I feel so much more comfortable with his recommendation. I just do. When's the last time you heard of government cutting anything?
Well,
besides your take-home
cut we'll cut the increase, but we'll still increase it.
Right. They cut your
We
take-home
wanted
pay.
to raise it 15%, but we'll only raise it 10%. See, that's a cut.
When's the last time you heard the government the government tell any foreigner, foreign country, foreign anything, we just can't afford that? They don't. They say, hey, you want cash or you want check?
Now, over the weekend, they were trying to make like the whole Dick Cheney thing really happen.
I saw that.
Yeah. Really?
The trade?
Really? Yeah. Okay, y'all can have him.
Hey, thank you.
I'm seriously.
Take the family.
it's
I don't
just-
care.
It's just like, really?
Take the fam. I don't care. Take the whole fam.
Dick Cheney? But do you remember when the guy who got shot in the face by Cheney apologized to Cheney?
Yes.
My family and I are deeply sorry for all that Vice President Cheney and his family have had to go through this past week. We send our love and respect to them
But you were the one who got shot.
as they deal with situations that are much more serious than what we've had this week.
Than me getting shot in the face. That's because Cheney is pimp hand strong, Joey.
I don't even know what that means.
That
Pimp
means
hand strong.
Pimp hand strong. That means he can so much as look at that boy. And that guy's going to go, I'm sorry I made you shoot me in the face. My face should not have
Is
been
that why you
anywhere near
got
that
baby powder in your compartment in the truck?
No, that's for hot days.
Oh.
Yeah, it's Fat Boy Summer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good thing you do have that on
Fat Boy
there.
Summer, baby.
I don't want to see you ever applying that.
Don't hit me too hard in the back, Joey.
He's blowing dust, folks.
See the batter's box over there? What's going on?
Yeah, you'll start getting excited over here and jumping. Goodness gracious. 272-9228. Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, fellas.
Hey, Randall.
Hey, Randall. What's up, buddy?
So that wasn't a powder donut I seen.
No, that wasn't powder donut.
On that Club 33, I mean, I ain't, this is all just kind of typical talk, but it's underground in New Orleans. They have an underground part, and it's usually only made up of celebrities and top-notch people. And then the one down there in Orlando is about the same way. But I think the one you talking about, they bring it out in the open like it's a everyday thing for people to be in. So
I'm looking at just the Wikipedia page. It said first opened in '67 inside Disneyland Park. The club was modeled after numerous executive VIP lounges created by pavilion sponsors in the 1964 New York World's Fair. That was the only location, but now additional locations for Club 33 have popped up at the Tokyo Disneyland, the Shanghai Disneyland, and as a lounge in each of the 4 theme parks of the Walt Disney World Resort. Huh.
That's probably why they want to. It's probably a lot of kid stuff going on. You know, a lot with kids that grab them, snatch them under.
Oh, I don't know about that, man. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I shouldn't say that, but I don't know if I'm fact. But they definitely in New Orleans, they said you wouldn't be surprised to be drinking on top of celebrities while they're down there in their little convenient hut in New Orleans. So I just want to throw that out there. California, you're right. It's out in plain sight. So,
yep.
But you can see it, and everybody just stops there. Well, it's just a little clubs. You get money off of your stage and money off of this, but it goes deeper than that. But I'm gonna get back on it, and maybe one day we'll come back around to this topic. So
appreciate it. Right?
We'll see.
Thank you, brother.
What is now any secret club like?
Sam said there's
not
a
even
whole
secret
YouTube rabbit hole on it. Yeah, and it ain't nice.
God. Just sometimes I don't have the heart to go down those rabbit holes.
Nope.
Somebody sent me something, and I just wish I'd unseen it.
Yeah.
Just the depravity some people engage in is absolutely unnerving.
I get bored sometimes, Joey.
Yeah. No, this thing I watched was people using AI programs to
really
essentially go after kids online.
Man.
Yeah. Kind of ruined my day when I watched that.
That's.
And there's, I mean, you can go your whole life without going down these rabbit holes, but they definitely exist.
Oh, yeah.
Online. Really messed up stuff out there. Anyway. On that sad note, you want to hit a break?
Yeah.
Sure. Like, I don't want to go to sleep tonight.
Jeez. Gotta see something funny on the TV now.
Yeah, hopefully we'll find something funny.
Yeah.
How about this? Let's hit a break.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Hey folks, Bruce Holding with CTE Outdoor Power, and I have some fun announcements. First, CTE is the new home for both Cub Cadet and DeWalt. We've got Cub Cadet homeowner walk mowers and lawn tractors, and Cub Cadet homeowner and commercial grade zero turns, and provide parts and service on all Cub Cadet mowers regardless of where purchased. Also, come check out DeWalt battery-powered hand tools, from grass trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws to drills, impact wrenches, circular saws, and the list goes on. We offer 0% interest financing and on-the-spot, no credit check financing. Now, here's the really fun part. In September, when you purchase either a Hustler or Cub Cadet riding mower, CTE will either pay your sales tax or you'll receive the same value as the tax in free DeWalt products of your choice. CTE Outdoor Power, ID5 at Perry Hill Road and CTEOutdoorPower.com.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Earnest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Earnest, 334-279-7431. Earnest Financial, LLC.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. This week is starting off dry and comfortable, but all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico for potential tropical development that could affect our forecast later in the week. Today, though, mostly sunny with a high temperature in the upper 80s and low humidity. Partly cloudy, pleasantly cool, mid-60s tonight. More sun, 87 on Tuesday. The risk of rain beginning on Wednesday, but especially an increasing chance of some tropical downpours Wednesday night into Thursday and Friday. We could be dealing with a tropical depression or a tropical storm, but for us, it would be beneficial rainfall. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Web Bobo with Capital Tractor. Soon we'll be moving to a brand new location in Montgomery. During our big moving sale, get a great deal on a Kubota with 0% APR up to 84 months with approved credit. Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor in Montgomery or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1. WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Is cocaine a stronger up?
Yeah. Cocaine
So you're way up with cocaine more than anything else you can think of.
Cocaine will turn you into a damn owl, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Joey Clark.
What a time to be alive in American politics. So are you going to watch the debate tomorrow night, Eddie?
Yeah, I am.
You actually going to sit and...
I'm got plans. I'm going to have some chicken wings, the whole 9 yards.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Now be careful. I ruined a shirt once eating chicken wings watching a big political event.
Okay, I've ruined many shirts with chicken wings watching nothing.
Yeah, that's
chicken
true.
wings. Yeah,
you just need to be careful.
So, sometimes the blue cheese will fall and you don't see it.
Or sometimes you got I want spicy but like golden barbecue or like honey barbecue or and it's sticky.
Yeah, you get sticky.
Or with the mustard based sauces really stained.
Once it hits, it's stained. Yeah. It's done.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they are delicious.
Let's check in on what Peter St. Onge has to say today. This is about a second jobs miss in a week panics the Fed. Even mainstream media is admitting the Fed screwed up, pumping out $7 trillion in fresh money during COVID, then strangling the real economy to cover it up.
Yes.
So let's listen in to Mr. Peter St. Onge.
Right.
Oh, come on. Or not.
Hit the play button, Joey. Hit the play
button.
We won't
even, we can't have nice things at all, apparently. Hold on, I'm going to try again. Here we go. Take it away, Peter.
Risks keep piling up in this blooming recession of ours, driving the odds of a panic move by a Federal Reserve that's finally seeing the recession many of us saw some time ago. The latest is August payroll numbers, which came in at just 142,000, which was a miss of 23,000 jobs from already weak predictions. Note, it takes between 175 and 200,000 jobs just to keep up with population growth. No, that is not including illegals. Of course, even that measly 142 will probably be revised down, like 6 of the last 7 job reports have been, and 4 out of 4 since April. In fact, this month they did revise previous months down by another 86,000, leaving 56,000 net. Interestingly, the unemployment rate actually improved despite the miss, as more Americans gave up and dropped out of the workforce. Remember, unemployment only counts people actively looking for work. If you give up trying to find a job, it shows up in these statistics as a Biden-Harris win. This is actually a large number of people. Right now, 5.6 million Americans want a job but have given up looking. Not one of them are counted in official unemployment numbers. According to my colleague EJ Antoni, this now puts us 7 million jobs shy of Donald Trump's pre-pandemic trend. Worse, literally all of the jobs in the past year have been part-time jobs. We've actually lost full-time jobs. Considering part-time jobs are normally taken in desperation, that argues very strongly that we are indeed in recession already. Congratulations, Joe and Cackles. Breaking it down, we lost 24,000 manufacturing jobs last month. That was the second worst in 3 years. Construction allegedly gained jobs, which is interesting considering job openings in construction are in freefall. Healthcare, social assistance, and government all grew as the taxpayer-funded welfare industrial complex takes over the real economy. Finally, nearly 1 million Americans are on temporary layoff, with long-term unemployment hitting 1.5 million. But the best you could say is at least August was not as bad as July, which turned in just 89,000 jobs, and then turned around and revised away 800,000 jobs, while job openings dropped 500,000. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained.com. This report was one of the final pieces going to the Fed's next interest rate meeting in mid-September. The Fed has already telegraphed they're going to start rate cuts for the first time since early pandemic to try and take the edge off the recession even they know is coming. The question now is, does the Fed go for a normal quarter-point cut or full panic to a half point? A half point would spook markets, but they're currently saying it's 50-50 for either. The very last shoe to drop will be Wednesday's inflation number. If that comes in low, it will push the Fed towards a big cut, spooked markets and all. Either way, it is far too late for the Fed to help Kamala in time for the election. At this point, they have made their bed. Alas, we all have to lie in it. A new episode of the podcast just dropped on California's free money for illegals, job loss fears hitting 2008 levels, and the crash in job openings, along with an interview with economics professor Danielle Lacalle on Argentina, Europe, and how the left destroys economies. Check it out wherever you enjoy your podcasts. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.
Again, folks, that's Peter St. Onge. Always appreciate his commentary. We're looking to get him on kind of right before the election in late October to give his take on the stakes of the election and the longer-term trends happening here and around the world. Really like leaning on that guy for his expertise.
Right.
Real quick before we keep moving on here, got a clip from Michael Saylor, the guy who's really been pushing Bitcoin. Fascinating conversation on CNBC. First, this part of the program brought to you by Clearwater's Property Management. And there, Reed Waters and the team at Clearwater's can, well, help you with tree removal service.
With all the wind we've had, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, you see your trees and you see the ones that you probably need some attention, especially one that's scraping against your house.
Yeah.
Just doing damage to your shingles.
Like a big limb overhanging right above that roof.
Yeah, and you know when you go to sleep at night, you're worried about it.
Right.
Take that worry out of your mind.
Well, sometimes those limbs, you'll hear them slapping the roof as they're moving.
And they're just tearing up your roof.
Or you could see, it's like, say it's an 80-footer, and wind storms come through, and you're seeing that thing move back, and you're just watching it. You're like...
And praying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can get rid of that. Clearwater's Property Management can do that when you call them at 430-0376. But, of course, they can also do just tree trimming, trim it back a little bit, or stump grinding to get rid of that ugly eyesore that is that stump. They can help you with all of that there. Again, that number, 430-0376. That's 430-0376. And be sure to tell Reed and the team there at Clearwater's Property Management that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. So, Michael Saylor sat down with all the crew there from CNBC, and I just, maybe this guy is wrong. I don't think he is. And in fact, I kind of like the confidence. I think his company, he says in this interview, has bought $8 billion worth of Bitcoin. Yeah.
Wow.
They have performed better, MicroStrategy, than any stock on the market. Better than NVIDIA, even. Just pretty incredible.
It's very incredible.
So let's listen in, because I found this to be an absolutely fascinating conversation.
Let's take a look at crypto prices this morning. You can see 55,000 now. Joining us, Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy Executive Chairman. You never stop adding to the position of your company, and you have a lot of courage because there's been a lot of major swings in the past, and there were times when I was worried. Can you tell me, were you ever close to margin calls? Anything ever happening to MicroStrategy?
Well, when Silvergate Bank failed, we had to redeem that, but it turned out to be a benefit for us. We made a lot of money on that redemption. We repaid our Silvergate loan. But it's been a great journey. Since August 10th of 2020, MicroStrategy has bought about $8.3 billion worth of Bitcoin.
Damn.
And Bitcoin's up 44% a year on average since then. The S&P is up 12%.
Higher now.
And since we levered it, we're up 825%. The number one performing stock in the S&P is NVIDIA, up 821% as of Friday. So we beat every single company in the S&P index using a Bitcoin strategy.
Does MicroStrategy now do anything else?
We still run the software business. It's generally a cash cow for us. But our primary business is a Bitcoin development company. So what we're doing is we're securitizing Bitcoin. We're selling convertible bonds for people that don't want the full volatility and all the risk of Bitcoin. Some people want 150% risk, right? So some people want highly levered equity, and they trade the options. And so we have a very big, deep, rich options market. We've got high performance equity, and then we've basically pioneered the Bitcoin-backed bond market by issuing all of these convertible bonds that are backed by 5x more Bitcoin collateral.
Has anything changed in terms of, you think, the investor class that's investing in your stock versus now investing, for example, in an ETF? Obviously, one is more levered than the other.
Yeah, if you're investing in the ETF, you're getting 1-for-1 performance, paying 25 basis point fee, no yield. When we issue a $1 billion convertible bond paying 1% interest, we're capturing a 50% premium or 50% type BTC yield on that up front, and then we capture another yield on the back end. So if what you wanted was a sort of a tax deferred yield on your asset, or you wanted to tap into the convertible bond market, like if you wanted to borrow $1 billion for a percent, buy Bitcoin with it, hold it for 7 years, you can't do that as an individual, but MicroStrategy can do it.
What have you made right now? Wow. I think I just saw a headline that 1.
Yeah, because wait, if it's $1 billion bond, 1% yield is quite nice.
Yeah, it is.
Tax free.
Oh, that's right.
Well, and I just love that this guy, like, it's not like, he's just theorizing. Like, his company's right in the thick of it.
He put his money where his mouth is.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, let's keep
his
going.
money.
Let's keep going with this.
$1 billion in outflows took place out of the Bitcoin ETF. And I'm curious, sir, what you think is going on with the impact of the ETF on the price of Bitcoin.
I think generally it's been a good thing, and it's created more demand. But you got to keep in mind that Bitcoin is smart, fast, strong money. So on a Saturday night, if you're worried about a missile strike, you can't teleport your $10 million apartment to Singapore, lever it up 10 to 1, and short $100 million worth of New York real estate. But you can short $100 million worth of Bitcoin by borrowing $10 million. So you have a lot of fast money traders, a lot of volatility, and that will cause and ripple into volatility in the ETFs.
Can you explain
this? That's okay.
Can you explain this? You know, one of the things you just talked about, if there was a missile strike or something, there was a sense that people talked about this as digital gold. And maybe you still think that's the case, but it often doesn't act like digital gold in the midst of a missile strike.
Yeah, it's the most liquid, fungible, free capital market in the world. Your New York apartment's not fungible. It's not liquid. I can't panic sell it. So when there's a short-term panic, Bitcoin is trading really, really hard.
Isn't it supposed to be the opposite?
Over the long term, it's up 44% a year every year, and you either get 12% from the S&P with VIX vol, or you take 3x the vol to get 44%. So over the long term, if you're an investor, it's going to be great because it's strong capital. over the near term, if you're a trader, you get lots of arbitrage opportunities.
Is it a non-correlated asset people can count on, or is it just a risk-on?
You know, in the near
asset?
term, whoever's got the most money can decide whether
What
it
it is.
correlates
It's
or non-correlates. It's like, again,
it
I can
goes
lever it
both
up
ways.
20 to 1 on Saturday night, and I can trade it long or short.
Hey, Michael, just the whole idea of leverage in something that is admittedly so volatile causes some people some real concern. I mean, I'm far more conservative. I would be worried about that. What's the worst case scenario of something that would happen in a leverage situation like that with the Bitcoin ETF?
I think what happens is people offshore trading on Binance with 20 to 1 leverage get wiped out on Saturday night when there's a potential missile scare. And so they're the degenerate crypto traders. On the other hand, what you want is a free, open capital market. Everybody can trade it any way they want. And so if you're going to hold it for more than 4 years, you're going to get superior performance with that volatility.
Gensler, with all we've seen, and I wonder what you think. Do you have anecdotal evidence exactly what he's thinking in terms of Bitcoin regulation?
That's Gary Gensler of the Securities and Exchange Commission, who's been miserable about moving on
They
this.
want fired, right?
Trump said, "I'll fire him day one."
I thought that was him.
Yeah.
Given that do you think he's done the 100 hours that you said need to be done to understand it? And if so, what do you attribute I don't know, he's been unable to stop it because of the courts, really, but he certainly tried. What do you attribute that to?
You know, I think this administration's been fairly conservative in their embrace of the crypto economy.
Right.
They want to go slow, carefully, deliberately.
But do they want to go or do they not want to go?
Well, before Gensler entered office, the rhetoric was even more controversial. After Gensler entered office, you heard Jerome Powell, Christine Lagarde, Gary Gensler all say Bitcoin is a speculative digital asset. And that was actually a move forward. With the approval of the ETFs, it was a second move forward. I think clearly we're all waiting for big banks, bulge bracket banks, to start to custody and hold Bitcoin. That'll be the third big shoe to drop.
Do you think that the election matters, and do you believe that Donald Trump is more Bitcoin friendly than like a Biden and Harris?
Well, there's no doubt
continuation of
the Republicans are taking a very pro-crypto stance.
Republicans or Trump?
Well, Trump.
And you believe him? You don't believe he's
in
just jeopardizing-
particular.
Yeah.
There's a tension between the 21st century and the 20th century. In the 20th century, company comes public. It cost $100 million in 4 years to go public. I know I did it in '98. In the 21st century, I can create a public crypto token in 4 hours for $100. So you have 100 million companies that want to be publicly trading an asset 1 million times cheaper, faster. That's the crypto economy. The traditional economy is you take 4 years, you spend $20 million a year on compliance. And I think that the two sides are talking past each other. But clearly, the future is faster, smarter, stronger.
I mean, you know what Senator Elizabeth Warren thinks about Bitcoin. I mean, if she becomes I've seen her, big jobs.
The political winds have shifted, and I would say that, at this point, the Republicans have shifted to way progressive, and the Democrats are drifting to the middle.
In terms of Bitcoin?
In terms of their view toward crypto and Bitcoin.
And let's say that it is a continuation of the Biden and Harris administration. Does Gensler take on a larger role? It becomes even more difficult?
That's all above my pay grade. What I would say is my view is...
He would be Treasury Secretary? I mean...
You buy Bitcoin, you hold it for more than 4 years, Joe. That's my advice to everybody.
For anyone, buy it and hold it for more than 4 years. And then you think eventually it takes how much, let's say it is digital gold, what percentage of gold's market cap does it finally?
Bitcoin's 0.1% of the capital in the world right now. I think it's going to go to 7% of the capital.
7%?
My long-term forecast is it's going to go to 13 million over 21 years.
13 million.
13 million, but what is it 5 years from now? You're in your 4-year calculation.
Right now, a Bitcoin is trading at just shy of 57 grand.
Yeah.
He just said 13 million
When we started, it was like 56.5, and I was just as he started talking, it was going up.
Yeah.
You know, it's been growing 44% a year with about a 40 to 50 vol. I would think it'll move on at 40%, then click down to 35, then 30, then 25, and at some point it'll be the S&P return plus 8%, and it'll be the S&P vol plus 8% because it's always going to be a more global, open, free capital market.
How is there stuff that's above your pay grade? You're worth billions. I mean, we could say that. It's above our pay grade, but who gets to decide if it's above your pay grade?
He might have been it's below his pay grade.
Right.
Exactly.
Bitcoin's an expression in this view that you want to invest in an asset without counterparty risk, which means you don't want to be counterparty to a country, a currency, a city, a company, a commodity, or a culture, right? So people think it's a risky thing. It's all about people wanting to not take risk. They don't want to guess whether Picasso's or real estate in New York or NVIDIA stock will be higher in 10 years. They want to buy money. They want to buy 1/21 millionth of all the money in the world forever.
End it there, Michael. Thank you.
Yeah, I just wanted to play that pretty much uninterrupted. Yeah, some of it might go over people's heads.
It shouldn't.
Pretty straightforward, though, and it's becoming, I think, plainer by the day. This is a good long-term bet. Other than, I thought the questions about a new administration and, say, somebody like Elizabeth Warren trying to strangle this thing, because what he said there, the next big shoe to drop is if big banks can actually start acting as custodians of this stuff. So right now you got Coinbase, who does most of the work, but if some of the big players can jump in,
that's when I think the volume just...
No, it would be nuts, but right now the government's still sort of leaving everybody in regulatory limbo.
Yeah. But with Trump, do you feel that will change?
Yes.
Me too.
All day, every day.
And I think so does the homeboy there. The guy
and I know there are a lot of Democrats in town here who are pro-crypto. It's like, well, you need to talk to the people running your frickin' party at the national level. But we all know that.
Yeah.
Let's hit a break. We'll be right back.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
The Alabama National Fair is back, October 4th through 14th.
The sights, the sounds, and the great food makes this something everyone looks forward to.
I love to munch down on giant turkey legs, funnel cakes, corn dogs, barbecue, and more. No one leaves hungry from the fair.
Get ready for the best Alabama fair yet. Be mesmerized by the Tiger Encounter, where majestic Bengal tigers and a rare white lion will take your breath away. Dive into fun and education at Cowtown, USA. And hold on tight for heart-pounding thrills with the fearless Flores Thrill Show. And the excitement doesn't stop there. Cheer on your favorite pig at the Swifty Swine Pig Races. And don't miss the incredible Zerbini Family Circus, featuring acrobatics, hilarious clowns, and stunning acts under the big top. Get your tickets now at alabamanationalfair.org. Sponsored by the Kiwanis Club of Montgomery, Hyundai Motor Manufacturing of Alabama, and Coca-Cola.
The food is spectacular, the rides are a scream, and along with exciting outdoor shows, it makes the fair fun for the entire family.
It's the best 11 days of fall.
Hi, I'm Brian McMahon with Turf Stalkers. Within a few months of advertising with Blue Water, our customer base doubled. If you're looking for similar results, we highly recommend advertising with Blue Water.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Hey guys, are you looking for a professional and reliable tree service company in the Montgomery and surrounding areas? Well, check out the folks at Tree Masters. It's a name you know and trust. From pruning to full tree removal, they'll even help you remove your shrubs. They service all of Central Alabama, including Lake Martin and Lake Jordan. Call them for a free quote today at 334-676-3638. That's 334-676-3638. Tree Masters.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Ray Bowles from Brattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
Oh, we're all right.
Well, I don't know about y'all, but I had a good weekend. Y'all had a good weekend?
Yeah, could have been better.
Yeah,
Auburn could have won.
Mine was better than Eddie's. And the Auburn game, we haven't even mentioned it. That was the I hated it. I hated watching.
We don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that was just.
Thorn in
It's
my
something
side.
an Auburn's quarterback does the worst play you've seen in 5 years.
Yeah.
For an Auburn team. He's done something. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Now you just ruined my whole day.
Just
thinking about
her.
it, man. You
And
know
her,
what?
I'm ruined too. We're all ruined.
All I could say was, good old days are back again, Joey.
Yeah, good gracious. But we had the grandkids this weekend. That was, that was a lot
cool.
of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were outside picking fruit, and one of them said, "Hey, Papa, I want to go swimming." So I said, "Sure." I stripped him down naked, threw him in the pool, and Angie comes in and says, "Time to eat." I said, "Well, you guys, sorry, they're all in the pool." That was great being a grandpa. I'd have never done that with my own kids.
Oh, yeah.
And don't even ask for a snack because I'm going to be pulling out the whole pantry.
Anything you want.
It's all yours. Oh, yeah, they're full. I mean, it'll be a year before they ask us to keep them again.
Smart move, Ray.
But, absolutely. But, hey, listen, if y'all need a floor, call us, 285-8117. I'm actually running over to Montgomery to pick up a load of tile for tomorrow. So any kind of flooring at all, ceramic tile, vinyl plank, laminate, wood, carpet, you name it, we do it. And we're going to give you the best price around and the best service around.
And that number is still 285-8117. And when you call 285-8117, be sure to tell them you heard Ray on the radio with Joey and Eddie.
And don't ask Mr. Babysit, I'm done.
Yeah, don't worry. We're good.
He's the cool
All right,
grandpa.
guys, have a great day.
See you,
Thanks,
Ray.
Oh, so did we learn anything today?
Yeah, I'm sure we did.
Yeah, y'all read and share my piece coming out tomorrow that I read at the beginning of the show.
Learned you got an Uncle Mel.
Yeah, right. Enough to make a cat laugh.
That's actually pretty good, Joey.
Yeah, for some reason it just came out as a short story.
Yeah?
This weekend, but I enjoyed writing that
Oh,
one
good
very
one.
much. Because really, I look at the news every day and I'm like, man, it is, at a certain level, it's just absurd.
Well, not only that, but used to there would be one or two good human interest stories in the news. Now I can't even make it that far down the headlines anymore before I just go, I'm out.
Right, and this so-and-so political operative said this BS
Yeah.
thing about the other so-and-so political operative, and did you see what Joe Rogan said?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it even in context? I don't know. I gotta watch the 3 hours.
Yeah.
Him and Russell Crowe.
It's gonna be good though.
Why are we getting more calls? We're out of
It's on
time,
fire today.
guys.
It's on a fire today.
Yeah, we're out of time. So y'all hold on for Greg Budell
That's
and
right.
Rosie Brock.
Coming up
They
next.
Are next. Let's get out of here before
All
we
right.
get in trouble.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana News.